Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 102 of Summon Sign. I am your host, Brad Ellison. Joining me, I got two fine gentlemen. First, we're going to start off with Mr. Hoeg Law himself. Well, just Mr. Hoeg now, I guess. Rick Hoeg.
Yes, well, I think Hoeg Law is my professional brand name now.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Something along those lines. So yes, we're deep in the midst of changing out the website and doing some other things to make all the naming make more sense. But I appreciate it. And I appreciate the intro. Every time you give an intro like Fine Gentleman or something like that, I assume there are two other people in the wings.
No.
And then it's Matty and me and two fine gentlemen.
You two are both very fine gentlemen. Wonderful gentlemen. Also, yes, Mr. Matty plays. Matty, rocking the Coca-Cola zip up. Looking official.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice.
I'm not really a Coke fan either. That's a funny part.
That is interesting. Are you more of a Pepsi guy or not a soda?
I was going to say I'm more of a Pepsi guy, but for those who want the lore, as always, found it at the thrift store. And that just makes things a little more fun. You can kind of wing it a little bit more.
Sure.
It's like, $9 for a Coca-Cola zip up. Like the thing I was looking for on the back of it or on the arms, like usually when you get things like these, it'll have like American Express on it. Like it was like a crossover event or something like that. This is just a straight up Coca-Cola zip up.
Damn.
It's like, all right, why not? This would be fun. Actually, my whole outfit today, I am wearing thrifted sweatpants as well. How about that?
Oh, damn.
So, yeah. You're catching me on the good side of the week, Brad. I have like 5 podcasts to do this week. So
yes,
this is the most energy anyone's getting out of me this week. It's Monday. Yeah. I'm ready to go. Friday, I will be dead.
Oh, yeah. Same, dude.
Now, Matty, when you go thrifting, do you do any ironic purchases? Like my oldest daughter likes to go and get sweatshirts from like state track teams that are 4 states away that she's never been a part of and doesn't know anything about. And she likes to wear those around.
Yeah, I think my example of that, I don't know if ironic was the word I would use for it, but my example of that is like buying sports stuff for teams that I don't support at all. Like I was wearing a big Bulls sweater actually when I was at the thrift store, and I got that from the same thrift store, but like I'm not a Bulls fan. I don't know shit about basketball, but I was like, oh, this is really cool. It was vintage looking, and like, why not? Right? I mean, that's the fun about thrifting, is just kind of like it's just other people's junk, and it's like, oh, that's got a little story to it. Why not? It livens up the wardrobe for a little cheaper, right?
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. So yeah, it's always a good time going there. I was meeting my parents there because I introduced them to thrifting, which my wife introduced me to it. So they came out and they were like, they're obsessed with this store. So they always love to come out and visit, but they use this as an excuse to really just go to that store.
Yeah, totally. As Maddie said earlier, we're in the grind week. This is the cram week for all of us. I have 2 summon signs to do today, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. I did not do a good job preparing ahead at all this year.
Oh, no, it's okay. Dude.
Oh, man, dude. Like Cog and I normally get 1 Duke banked before the grind week, but bro, I think I might be podcasting every day this week. Really? Like,
yeah, I think I am too. Yeah. I'm in the same camp as you, buddy. I mean, I'm going to be on with you later again for Summon Sign down the line. Yeah. That's fun. Summon Sign's always a good time. Because we're going to be filming our Game of the Year stuff. So
yeah,
it's always a good time. Stress-free, all that good stuff. But yeah, me and Micah finished actually all of our punching ups, put them in the bank.
Nice.
So I'm relieved about that. We grinded it out last week.
Nice.
Because I don't want to be last minute. You know that feeling? Just be like, the deadline's approaching. You're just like,
yep.
Just got to get.
You got a heck of a work ethic, Brad. You do.
I mean, we just
really
talk about
respect
video games. It's easy. It's not. Work is not how I describe my job most of the time. I'm just hanging out with the boys and girls sometimes, chatting about video games. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Retail. Like those poor folks out there getting yelled at by someone.
Yeah, it's so funny because we have the privilege of working from home. I was thinking about it yesterday. Like, I love going out and like hearing the Christmas music and like seeing the hustle and bustle. But I realize that's also a privilege. You start to recognize like this is awful for like 90% of people, especially those who work during this time. They hate it.
Yeah.
So it's good to recognize those sorts of things.
Yeah. But also embrace it, Maddie. You earned it.
Yeah.
Enjoy your time. Enjoy the holidays. All that good stuff.
Yeah, I love this season. I mean, we got ahead of this. If I was ahead of anything this year, it was decorating our house. Normally, we just, my wife and I work a lot, so it's like really tough to get everything decorated in the time we want to.
Yeah.
And like last year was kind of like a final straw because we usually host this big Christmas Eve party, and it was just like we didn't get the house decorated until like a week before. And I'm like a huge Christmas freak, so I was like, I can never do this again. Like, I got a week to celebrate. So like literally Thanksgiving was over that following weekend. Your boy was taking all the decorations out.
Good.
House was converted in a single day. I threw it all my energy at it. I was like, I'm not getting robbed this season. So
Yeah, man.
that was the one thing I was proactive with this year. Decorating my house.
Yeah, that's good, dude. Get it
Priorities.
done. Hey, if you want to support us, any of our shows, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. You can get early ad-free access to all of our shows, including Defining Duke with Matty and Hoeg, which is always funny listening to that show. It is every week something going on in Xbox land. Always. I love just asking Matty about the state of Xbox, even though I know what it is. Just to hear him and Hoeg talk about it. It is good stuff. So please check out that show. Really fun.
Thank you.
Also, if you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. Micah will send it to you from the Moriarty household. You can get Defining Duke shirt. You can get Sacred Symbols, Summon Sign shirt. Whatever your heart desires, it's there. So please, if you enjoy the content, support us or consider supporting us. We'd greatly appreciate it. The one wrote in and said, "Hello, Summoners. Any last minute predictions for announcements at the Game Awards? What is the story behind that statue? What game is Jeff teasing? Will we finally see Persona 6 or Kingdom Hearts 4? Thank you all and good luck with the holiday crunch." All right, Matty, I saw one of your predictions.
Yeah.
That you posted on X, and I was talking to Lockmore about this as well. And I'm like, yeah, I could totally see that. And if that does happen, yes. But go ahead. What do you think, Matty?
I'm trying to think of the companies because number one, I'll talk about this later in the show, but I love that there is an air of mystery around this. I love that no one knows. I love that we're able to guess. And so long as there's payoff here, I think it'll be actually one of the greatest things the Game Awards has done in a while, because it's just like things get leaked so often that I just love that we don't know. And that there's and there have been great guesses like, oh, this is Elder Scrolls 6. No, this is Diablo. Like, okay, everyone's going dark fantasy, right? So my final submission for my prediction before, if anything does leak, this is before any of that happens, was Divinity Original Sin 3. I was just thinking of companies that have been lying low just long enough, have a fantasy franchise, because again, this has like strong fantasy vibes, and I feel like has the capital to do this and the willingness to do this. And I think a lot of people think that after Baldur's Gate 3, Larian wouldn't do DOS 3. I think it's like a no doubter they go back to this, because it's like, oh, now that you're paying attention, we're going to bring you into the thing that we do that's basically Baldur's Gate, just under a different name.
Yeah.
And so I think they would be crazy enough to do this. I have other predictions, but I don't want to like hog all the mic time on that. But yeah, the big one for me was Divinity Original Sin 3. I was like, I feel like no one's considering this one. And based on the response to that tweet, I guess a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
Because Locke and I had been like bouncing ideas off each other. And this is the one I threw his way about a week ago. I was like, I'm starting to think this is what it is. And Locke gave me the same reaction. He's like, oh. So, I mean.
That's a good Locke impression, yeah.
So I hope that's what it is. That would be really nice. I just hope it doesn't disappoint, though. Even if it's not for me, I just hope it doesn't disappoint, because there's a lot of built up excitement for it, anticipation. No one really knows. So yeah, that's where I'm going right now. Divinity Original Sin 3.
Yeah, it's just Far Cry 7, and we're like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if the Far Cry series takes a dark fantasy demon turn, that's notable.
It is notable.
Could be interesting.
I doubt it. Could
Far
be
Cry Primal 2. There you
go. Hoeg, any ideas what the statue
I do not have any idea what this statue is. I think the guess that I liked the most was Saros.
Yeah.
It feels kind of like that vibe.
Yeah.
I like it as a dark fantasy, but through a sci-fi lens kind of answer, because that's what it looked like to me to begin with, a Dead Space kind of thing. I know Dead Space is, for all practical purposes, no pun intended, dead. But that kind of thing where you've got demonology and science fiction. And I think Saros fits the bill the best. So
yeah,
that's where I will put my guess at this point.
I think those are the two best guesses. That's what I would guess too, both those games. I don't know what else it could be, unless it's completely new.
Yeah, my read of it is like, I don't think it can be something that's announced. Like we have a release date for Saros, I think, right? So like that's where my head's gone. It's like it's got to be something that warrants the secrecy.
Yeah.
Like if it's just like, oh, and we have a new trailer for Saros, right? Like that's where I get wrapped up in it. I had someone tweet at me a pretty great prediction that I was thinking about, but I was like, I don't think so. Someone said, what if it's a new expansion for the Oblivion remaster? I think that's a little out there, but in an interesting way.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Because it has a very Oblivion Gate Elder Scrolls style to it. That's why people thought it was ES6 before Schreier shut it down. But I did think the way ES4's remaster has been handled was kind of weird to me. Like they dropped it. They announced that they were going to support it. They really did it, in my opinion. Like they kind of dropped support for the game in June. And it's possible they just moved on to Fallout 3 remaster because it's been leaked and rumored for a while. But there's also this world of possibility. And we're like, did they move on to something bigger? I mean, this is one of the best selling games of the year, and they could create new content for it. So that would also be very interesting. But I don't know, man. Like it's anyone's guess, and that's the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had another one. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Witcher 3 expansion. There was that rumor a while ago that the Witcher 3 was getting an expansion to set up Witcher 4.
Yeah.
A friend texted me that one, and I was like, oh, that's a really good one.
That is a good guess.
CD Projekt Red said they wouldn't be there, but it was in regards to Witcher 4. So it could be kind of them playing funny with it.
Yeah,
I don't know,
of course.
But
they got
there's a lot of good guesses out there.
Yeah. Random spot to put that statue, but
yeah.
I don't know. Okay. We'll see. Matty, there's other rumors swirling as well. Of course, the legendary rumor Half-Life 3 swirling.
Yeah.
But I saw a new one semi-recently that is the Matty one. The Knights of the Old Republic remake perhaps being there. This is your dream game. This is it, Matty. Knights of the Republic is your favorite game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really trying not to get worked up. It's taken all my might to not make a video on it, but I'm really trying to like I started to change all my plans. I was like, I think I need to stream this thing. The thing that I was talking to Locke about, and the thing that really just like, to be vulgar, just twists my dick, dude, is like straight up they fucking like, I'm seeing this rumor that it might be a Total War game, and I say with all due respect to Total War, I know it's a great franchise, but it would just be the most unbelievable thing for me to finally get a new Old Republic game, and it's a Total War game. Like after all this time, like it beats out the remake, it beats out a potential KOTOR 3. It's a Total War game.
That's like Max Monkey's Paw. That is 100% Monkey's
literally.
Paw.
So I will play the hell out of that game, but I will absolutely whine and complain for like a good minute or two of like, man, well, at least we're getting something. And again, I have a friend who's addicted to Total War Warhammer 3. Like, he loves the game. I've heard nothing but great things about the franchise. I have not dove in completely, but for me, like I'm looking for another RPG. I want like an RTS. So I'm really hoping that this Old Republic game truly is like a new role playing game. I just feel like it's time. So the only reason I don't think it's the remake is simply because I feel if they said it was a new reveal or a new announcement and it was under the name Old Republic, then why wouldn't this leaker just say it's a remake? Yeah. Especially because this is the person who leaked Star Wars Zero Company originally. So I think they would know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's possible because like Sony detached from this project and it went through a complete overhaul that they might just be calling it Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and like getting rid of the whole remake thing. I don't know. But it's like, oh, dude, I don't know. I felt it in my soul. I was like, I feel like it's time to see this game, but I don't. Man, this is gonna make or break the show for me personally.
Dude, I didn't know there's rumors about being like a Total War game or something like that. That's
because it's just the Old Republic, right? So warriors of the Old Republic, politicians of the Old Republic, janitors of the Old Republic, whatever.
They said it's a Star Wars game, so it could be like Total War, the Old Republic. And I'm like, yeah, that would be fucking awesome. Like it makes complete sense. Yeah. Again, I would be all over it because I love that part of the Star Wars universe unapologetically. It's the only untainted part of the Star Wars universe, but maybe it gives way like, oh, hey, there's a lot of interest in this. Like, let's go make a role-playing game for this. I don't know. But I'm crossing my fingers, man. I really hope it is KOTOR in some way.
I hope you get what you want, Matty. See, with these announcements for the Game Awards particularly, I always assume I'm going to be mildly disappointed. So, like Saros, you're right. It would just be a trailer if it were Saros for the statue, but that would be mild disappointment. So that seems to be where I line up on these things.
That's a good way of thinking about it. Yeah, I think this year could be really good for the Game Awards, at least for me. Like, I'm starting. There was rumors of like a new Sonic game reveal. Throwing Old Republic in there. There's just like a lot of interesting stuff floating around right now where I feel like the show might at least deliver some good stuff for me. So I'm a little more optimistic heading in this year.
I respect it.
Yeah, it's been a while since Frontiers, I guess. So,
yep. Frontiers, more Frontiers, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
Even Frontierier.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Frontiers.
I did too.
It was pretty solid. Yeah. A lot you could do better.
Enhanced, more free and open Frontiers 2, if you want to call it that, would be awesome to me. You know?
Yeah.
Because like the DLC added all the playable characters. So you kind of have this Sonic Adventure-like game potentially brewing. I'll be very, very interested to see what it is. But I like this new serious turn Sonic's taken in its gaming worlds between like Frontiers and Shadow Generations. I'm like, this feels like
good games, you mean?
Adventure. Yeah, let's be real. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I want that as well. Maddie, what do you think about Square Enix here? Kingdom Hearts 4, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 3. What about Part 3 for Remake?
I've been bullish on that one. Yeah, I've been bullish on that one. Like I'd be curious what you guys think, but for me, I feel like Square has it really figured out with this trilogy, and the fact that they've been doing so many interviews about it, just
talking about it.
Yeah, like they kind of have what's happening with From Software, where their teams just keep carrying over and they're just working faster and faster and getting better and better. And I mean, again, I always look at Rebirth as like this moment of, dude, Midgar's not even in that game. It's like 3 times the size of Remake, and they made it in like less time. So it would not surprise me at all if, with all the asset carryover that can happen again for this third part, that they really just had to figure out the airship apparently, and they did get that figured out. So I think we see this game potentially, that one. But Kingdom Hearts 4, I am so down. I am so not even like on the quality of it. We'll see. I am so down on seeing that game for like another year or so. Like I really feel bad for KH fans. I'm still one myself, but not as diehard as I used to be. But I don't think we see KH4 for a good while. I just don't. I don't see them getting around Disney in a way that like, gets this thing moving quicker. It's like that's always going to be a hurdle. It's just so different nowadays. Yeah.
Well, as someone who's been a KH fan since PS2, this is business as usual to me.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for decades or like a decade for a game. So. Here we go again.
Were you going to play? What was the mobile game that just got canceled?
I mean, I would have checked it out. I had no interest in like playing it long term though. I don't care about playing mobile games. If I really care about it, Maddie, I'll look at the lore like on a YouTube video or something like that. That's all I'd care about.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to log in to get my Keyblade bonus or whatever. I'm good on that.
Yeah, with Kingdom Hearts, it's weird because there are still some things they could have done in the wait till 4. Like, I wish that they went the extra mile with some of the DS games or whatnot that they kind of just brought the movies over for in the remaster. Like I think playing 358 over 2 days on modern consoles would be great, not just watching it as a movie. I think that's like a very forgotten Kingdom Hearts game, and so that would be really cool. And I wish they would kind of like go the extra mile on those while we're working toward KH4. I think that'd be worth it, but it's very idealistic thinking, no doubt about it.
For me with those games, Maddie, I'm like, nah. I'm good on that.
You don't want any more spin-offs?
Story's good. Gameplay, nah.
Yeah,
pretty boring.
Pretty that movie.
Yeah. KH3 is like very boring to me, but otherwise, like,
wait, KH3 gameplay is boring to you?
Yeah.
Oh, Maddie, you got to revisit this, dude.
I did dislike 3 when I played it.
I did revisit it about a year and a half ago. I think 2 is just too good.
2 is good.
Like 2 is an incredible combat system, and I say that because
system's good in 2.
Because Rebirth's combat system is so similar to KH2's, like it's stunning. I was like, wow, they actually like got back that magic. KH3 is good. It looks good. It's just really easy. So I mean, unless you
you got to play the harder modes.
Yeah. I played on Proud, and that was really easy too. Critical, I know, like will really kick you between. Yeah,
you could do level 1 runs as well if you want to get real fucking nuts.
Yeah, I'm not that psychotic. I don't think Kingdom Hearts mechanics are that good.
Dude, Kingdom Hearts 3 has the hardest boss fight I've ever fought in any game in my life, which is Yozora.
Yeah,
yep.
I've heard that
by far
tough one.
Insane. It's not like the Lingering Will where you can literally cheese that entire fight.
Oh yeah.
Got patch that shit.
I will say, in fairness, I have not played the
Remind. You haven't played Remind, dude? No. The fights in Remind. Holy shit, Maddie.
Okay.
Give it a revisit before 4 comes out.
Yeah, that was kind of the plan. I already revisited it for Retro Rebound, and I enjoyed my replay of it enough. But like, I think for a full like DLC dive, I think I said it in the video. I was like, I'm gonna wait till 4 is around because I have to be low commitment right now with this franchise because I don't have a lot of faith in it.
If you're all combat, that's that DLC. It's like all combat focused. Made a lot of good changes, really good boss fights, really good. But we'll see. I have the video loaded in my brain, Matty, before 4 comes out for 3, saying that you were all wrong about Kingdom Hearts 3. You're all wrong.
And a little defender of Kingdom Hearts 3.
I am.
I don't think it's as bad. I don't even measure it on like, did it deliver after all the wait? Like, it's just more again, to me, it's like the combat and the lack of Disney boss fights that just like, it's that latter part that really hurts me for that game. Because you don't care in the moment, then you go back to like 1 or 2 and you go, oh, it's so much better when it's like this, you know? So I think because the critiques were loud enough, I think Kingdom Hearts 4 will not have that issue at all.
Sure. Yeah. It's going to have Star Wars in it, so you're on board right away.
Yeah. Oh, the Old Republic. There it is. Kingdom Hearts 4, the Old Republic.
That's the new subtitle for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, the Old Republic. Perfect. Might as well be. Wouldn't be the strangest name they've had. All right, boys, speaking of Square Enix, let's talk a little bit about Octopath Traveler 0. Hoeg, let's start with you.
And speaking of mobile ports, right?
Yeah.
I don't play mobile games, but I do like the lore. Let's talk about Octopath. Yeah, so I love this game, gentlemen. Now, I have to say, I love this series. Octopath Traveler might be my favorite series that Square Enix has going right now. Including Final Fantasy, which is my long-term favorite series of all time. But I love the sense of adventure, the sense of traveling, the way that they've put these stories together with the different classes and roles to all kind of be emblematic of what a thief might do and what a warrior might do and all these things that make Octopath Traveler. Now, what's odd about Octopath Traveler 0 is that there is no Octopath, and ostensibly, at least part of the game, you're not traveling. You are rebuilding your hometown. So without an Octopath and without a Traveler, you might say, what do you do in this game? But for the most part, you do the same thing. You actually do go through these various chapters and experience these stories in these different towns, and you build up a group of people to fight on your behalf, and your player-created protagonist now can be any of the 8 classes from the original game. And the actual combat strategy is, instead of 4 people on your side, 8 people with a back row that you can sub in to fight for you on a player-by-player basis. So any given pair can have one person in the front row fighting. So you can better control your battle points. You can better control what weapons you're using. It's a different kind of strategy, but it's equally kind of fulfilling in my perspective. And for those that don't know, this is a kind of translation from the Octopath Traveler mobile game called, I think it was Champions of the Continent.
Correct.
Which is not a game I played much of. I had downloaded it when it was announced, and I played a little bit of it. I'm kind of in the Matty boat here, which is I just don't like playing these kinds of games on my phone. So it was originally a free-to-play kind of gotcha game, and they've rebuilt it so that it doesn't have those elements. You pay the full price like you do for any other Octopath or Square Enix game, and you get the whole shebang. But I was worried that this game wouldn't hold up to Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 because of this kind of tortured development story. But I really do think that it is as good as the first 2. And I really like the different focus of these particular stories, because without that Octopath, you aren't just following the story of any given hero class throughout the various lands. Instead, they're focused around the villains. And one thing that I was really not expecting out of this, and I maybe should have been, having been a fan of the series now for a while, is that if you take the stories in an Octopath Traveler and you focus them not on the heroes but on the villains, you get some of the darkest crap that Square Enix has ever made. Like, I'm talking slaves, sex trafficking, drug mules, everything in between. Like, with these little chibi Final Fantasy VI characters, of course. It's not, like, offensive to the senses, but the actual content of the stories is crazy. And so you combine all these things, one of my favorite battle systems that Square Enix has going, just the most aesthetically pleasing graphics. I love the HD 2D in Octopath Traveler. I love it even more than the HD 2D versions of like Dragon Quest. And so this is where I live. This is my happy place. Great music, great graphics, really nice voice acting, stories that are just insane from Square Enix. and I could not speak more highly of this game. I'm actually surprised that it didn't grade out a little bit higher in the aggregate review scores. It's not really where I live. I don't care so much about what everybody says about a game, but I really, really like this one, and I think if you like Octopath Traveler, you're going to like Zero.
Okay. Matty, before I start asking questions, let's hear your thoughts, because you're also playing.
Yeah, I'm with Hoeg. I put about almost 15 hours in now, so not too much in the scheme of things. It starts off really strong. It then starts to rebuild itself, literally and thematically. And as it's kind of regathering itself, it feels like you're hitting a low, but it's picking back up rather quickly, because as Hoeg said, I think the real hook is when you get to those dark moments. I thought maybe with what I had read and heard through the review pipeline, like, oh, it gets really dark. Like Octopath 2 gets really dark, you know?
Yeah.
I think of like throwing a story and I'm like, okay, I know they can get that dark, but like how, you know, when you have Agnia as a character in that game as well, I'm like, how dark do they really let themselves get? And I don't say that negatively. I love Agnia in Octopath Traveler 2, but I'm thinking to myself, like, how dark does it? Oh my God. There is one type of death in this game involving coins that you just read about. I think you'll know what I'm talking about, Hoeg.
I do.
Where I'm like, that's fucked up. Like, you don't see it, but just the idea that someone came up with that, I was like, wow, that like is a new level of dark that I really haven't seen from this company in a while, but also just, I like how they aren't afraid to go there, really.
Yeah. No, it almost feels experimental at times with what they're doing with the stories. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think for people who have really had issues with Octopath's delivery of a story, I'll always be a staunch defender of it, but I think some people struggle with the whole like 8 individual tales that come together. I think Octopath 2 does a really good job of keeping them individual, but then having them talk with one another, and it crosses over in a meaningful way. However, I think Octopath 0, as Hoeg beautifully put it, was like this sort of focusing on the villains means that these characters are all more deeply involved together in the story. And so it's, I guess, a more traditionally told story, if you will, but still has that Octopath DNA of like, choose if you want to tackle fame, wealth, or power, because those are what the 3 villains are based around. And then you add on top of that, like settlement building, like, you know, crafting your own town, assigning villagers to this town and having them like do things. And they all have their own like passive bonuses to the town. And it's this interesting meta game within it that I didn't really anticipate. And then also last thing is the combat. I thought the whole 8 party member thing was going to be a bit overblown, but you don't realize that because Octopath's shield meter in this game,
the weaknesses.
Yeah, like you have to hit them like 15 times now, because you can swap in a party member who's been building BP on the back line and they'll just swing away like 4 or 5 times. And so it's added a new layer of strategy that I didn't expect, where there's like a part of me, I'm thinking to myself, I hold Octopath 2 in extremely high regard, like one of the best JRPGs of all time. I'm playing this right, and like 1 is also up there because 1 introduces this whole entire style, the story, the art, especially the art. But 0, I'm now like, well, this is starting to put up a really big fight earlier than any of the Octopath games, and it's got its own unique DNA in combat and town building. I'm just like, could this be up there too? I've heard it's over 100 hours. It
feels beefy.
Yeah, as I have talked about on my channels and on podcasts, I was planning to lay down these 100+ hour excursions, but I it's really tough to say no to this series because I'm like Hoeg and I love it. And I went into this not expecting to love it because I kind of thought I knew what I was getting. But when the story started to take me by surprise and the gameplay took me by surprise, that's when I went like, oh shit, okay, this is not just different, but like really different. And I want to see this all the way through now. So I don't know. I'll update everyone on Defining Duke if I bend the knee fully and just go for it. And this just becomes my holiday game so long backlog, I guess. But I mean, this is it's justifying the time spent in a way that I did not really fully expect, because I thought it was going to be, it's a $50 game. You're taking this mobile game, reimagining it. But they have done a hell of a job, man. It's really good.
Yeah. So I guess the big feature about this one compared to the other ones is the town building and all that kind of stuff. Is it like, I don't know if you guys have played Ni no Kuni and stuff like that, or 2 specifically that has town building, but
Yeah, I haven't
How
played
much
that
freedom
one.
is there building your town, or is it just kind of like these buildings go in these slots that are predetermined, and
No
basically everything
slots.
is no slots?
No, it's a layered town kind of board, and you're gaining different layers to put things on as you go through the game. So it's divided like everything else in Octopath Land into kind of chapters that you earn movement forward as you go and get specific people to bring to your town. You get an additional platform to build places on, but you get pretty much total authority to pick where you're going to put the houses.
Okay, great.
As you go through the story, you get more kind of featured buildings that do specific things, let you make meals, let you change your outfits, whatever it might be. And you get maybe one of those. But other than that, you get to pick what goes in your town. So you're really picking, as Matty said, which citizens you're going to invite from the various other towns in the world. And those citizens are going to have passive bonuses that are going to increase your ability to play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that would probably be the mobile aspect that they retweaked for this full release.
I think the mobile aspect you feel most are the bonus party members. Because you'll just find them in the overworld. And like I found Alexia in a town, and she's early game, which is why I use her as an example. And like you go up to her, you use a path action on her, you inquire about who she is. And then because you inquired with her, you can then ask her to give her book over to you. And from there, it triggers a cutscene, and she sees this ring on your finger, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's like we were destined to be together." And she like gets this full panel of art and joins your party as a playable character.
That art is insane.
Yeah, and the art's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
and I'm just like, who the hell is this? And I'm like, okay, she's in the party, whatever. She's going to fight alongside me. She's not like a major story character or anything like that. Now, maybe, again, I'm early, so maybe like she has a side story that goes into multiple parts later in the game. But I've noticed this across like multiple playable characters in the game where you just kind of find them. You know, like I found a thief who prays to God, and, you know, he's just like, you know, perhaps it's God's will and my fate to challenge what he wants for me and to join you. And then he joins you, and he gets his own like full panel of art. And, you know, he feels like a major character, but he's so far really not. So it's like, okay, like I think that's the mobile aspect.
Yeah,
is like these characters that feel like, oh, I rolled for that, you know? That's
they do. They
like.
feel like gotcha characters. And I think that is the way it is. Matty, I think as you go on through the game, there are characters that have more specific quests to get them to join your party. I think the early ones they give you in this game, and at least in this version, don't have that kind of quest concept. So mostly you get a little picture of a head in the town that you're in. You go to the head, you get a little scene, they join your party. They don't have a ton to say. You've got your kind of four main people from the town that you're rebuilding as part of this game. And then you've got these other kind of randoms. And I think one of the tweaks they must have made is that they come out in a very specific order in very specific places, when that probably wasn't the way the mobile game was handled.
Yeah.
And again, I can't speak to that specifically because I did have it downloaded, didn't play it much.
I didn't play it at all. Yeah. I love Octopath, just not that much, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I put it.
Guys, I got to know, the town building, do you get that satisfaction of upgrading something like a building to getting, I assume, more stats to your character and stuff like that? Because I remember even like Bravely Default on 3DS. Yeah, it was 3DS. Like there was like that whole town upgrading minigame, and I was fucking addicted to it. You'd have to like wait in like real time, almost like a mobile game. Does everything build really fast here, or is it like you got to wait a while?
It's instant. No timers. No timers on builds. There are upgrades. And as a matter of fact, the upgrade system for buildings in your towns is tied to fighting optional bosses that you can find in dungeons in the world.
That's good.
So it's a nice little system combination. I mean, one of the things that Matty said that I really love about this is, someone that loves Octopath, I love game systems too, and I love to see like remixes. This feels like Octopath through and through, but it also feels like a completely different take on Octopath. Yeah. And that's really, really cool.
Yeah. Like they had the freedom to try some new stuff because the project was probably low investment. They probably had most of the stuff they already needed. So they were like, we could try a couple of things here and frame it as a prequel title. And I think a lot of people are going to jump in and just love this so much, they're going to kind of want the rest of the series to feel like parts of this game. You know?
Yeah, three might just have gotten an 8-person party because it really feels good.
Yeah. Okay. I know you guys touched on this a little bit, but for someone like me who didn't love the first game, I never finished it because I thought the stories did not line together well at all. Yeah. And it was very disjointed. combat was fine, but nothing like for the first game, nothing that like blew me away, especially after Bravely Default. It was basically just the same thing. The story here, you said it lines up better, where it actually feels like everyone's not complete strangers with each other, and they don't feel like hollow shells in your party. They have some sort of tie to the story, I guess.
Well, I mean, so as Matty said, a lot of your party is going to be filled out with people with very limited kind of sketches of why they would even care to join you.
Right.
But because of this different focus where it's not just on each character, and so everybody else has to step out of the story of the given character, you don't have any of that going on. Everybody is invested in taking down these villains. And the focus is on a more traditional kind of JRPG story, because focusing on the villains allows you to have that kind of storytelling. So I think it works better.
Okay.
I think it does lose a little flavor for what Octopath Traveler was originally trying to be, which was giving these stories to the different classes. But I think it is more satisfying in the current configuration than it has been in the past.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Dan Excel wrote and said, "Hey, Matty and Hoeg, for someone looking to start the Octopath series, what is the order of games you'd recommend playing them in? Thanks, and have a Merry Christmas, everyone."
201?
Yeah, I feel I struggle with it. I'm a big release order guy nowadays, because I have historically gone out of order my whole life, as I've always talked about on Retro Rebound, for example. Like, I've started more game series than I can count at like the second or third entry, and then worked my way back. And I just tell people, like, rip off the Band-Aid. I will say the hardest to justify of the trio that feels more like a quote product at the time is the first game, because it really was a bunch of new ideas. Like, it was this new art style, which made it very attractive for Switch owners, myself included. This is the reason I bought a Switch. I was like, I want to play that game. Path actions were new. This combat style was like old but new. Like, everything was new, but now we're in the third entry. Everyone knows what this is. So it's kind of like going to be treated as, I think, a lot of people, more Octopath. And that especially hurts because the second game builds off the first one very lightly. So I think what Hoeg says is, I think, pretty accurate. Like, 2, then 0, because these so far feel like, must experiences. The thing, though, I will throw out there that I do really like about 0 is it makes 1 feel more important. So knowing 1 and sort of what came before it, and giving it that foundational lore, I think helps a lot. So I wrestle with it a bit, but I feel like 2 is such a massively improved version of 1 that is the great starting point. Incredible characters. I think you get the feeling of like what Octopath was. Art style's unbelievably good. Hop into 0, get the prequel, get the latest game under your belt, and if you want more before Octopath 3, go play the first one.
Yeah.
So I in a long way of saying this, I unite with Hoeg's take.
Okay.
Well, I do think you're going to get this either way. Any way you experience the series. 0, I love how 0 looks. It is definitely a half step back from 2. Like, it's much closer to 1.
Visually?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you playing?
Visually, definitely. Like the I'm playing. Okay, sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, go ahead, Matty. Yeah,
I'm playing on PS5. I do think, I visually, I do think it's a little bit of a step back, only because the lighting and effects work carry a lot of the load in this game. Where if you go and like fire up Octopath 2 on PS5, that's still one of the most beautiful games I think ever made. But you can see with certain things, like you'll look at the roofing of some of the houses and it's like a flat plane. But if you go and look at the roofing in some of the towns in like Octopath Traveler 2, you'll see like they have like bevels and they have like more 3-dimensionality to them. So you wonder a little bit if like maybe in inheriting this mobile version, if like there were some corners cut. This game also seems, because like it took me, I think, 80 to 90 hours for both Octopath 1 and 2. Actually, 1, I think.
So long. Holy
I know.
moly.
Well, actually, the first one was more in like the 70 to 80 hour area. But 2 is definitely up there a little bit longer in the high 80s. But this one being 100 plus, it's possible that it's just so content deep that they just kind of like took what they had and just threw it all out there, So I think it's still a beautiful game to look at, though, for sure.
Yeah, I still think it's aesthetically pleasing. I just think on the technical aspects, it's not 2.
Yeah.
I meant to ask this, Hoeg, did you get any hitching while you were playing? Have you ever noticed like the game kind of hiccups at times, or is that just...
So I'm on a Switch 2, I'm playing the Switch 2 version. I think there was a Switch 2 version of this.
Yes.
I have basically no issues. Now, sometimes that might be because I just haven't noticed them, but I have nothing that has sparked my memory here on that question. So I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's strange because like when I was playing, it was usually when cutscenes started. Like I showed it in my review, like it would just like it would just kind of hiccup for like not in combat, just like cutscene would start and it would pulse like half a second. I'm like, oh, nothing like horrible or distracting, but it was just something I recognized. I was curious if it was just me. So I wonder if it's just like the PS5 version.
Strange.
I do not know. I don't think I've experienced that on the Switch.
Have you guys played Live Alive?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so funny because Octopath to me is like Live Alive. Live Alive, I guess, was it before where you have like these multiple character stories that come together and stuff like that.
It's really, I think it's the series that they said did inspire.
Yeah,
Octopath
100%. It had to. 100%. Yeah. But cool ass game too. I like that.
I love the time traveling aspect of that game.
Yeah.
Because of I guess like the different eras of time and just like that game's beautiful. The remake that they did for it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Cool game, dude.
And it's palatable. It's not really long.
No, it's like 30 hours maybe.
Yeah,
I want to say.
It's like it reminds you that JRPGs can be that.
They can be that. Yeah. Not everything needs to be massive. Don't get me wrong. I love a massive game if it justifies it.
Exactly.
But not everything needs to be that long.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. I'm happy to hear this game is awesome. Someday, hopefully I'll get to them. I'll probably play 2 before I get to 0 just because it came out first. But I do want to play 2 because, you guys talk highly about them. So one day.
I don't think you can go wrong. They are great. It's a great series.
Shout out to Cassidy and Throne.
A little update, Matt. I'm still in Trails Land. Okay. That's where I'm at. Slightly. I'm about to I'm super early. So I'm like 12 hours in now.
Okay.
So just letting you know, I have not forgotten about the game. I will finish it.
Trails is so good.
Yeah.
But my time has been occupied with what we're going to talk about next, which is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Before I get into all that, Hoeg, you've also been playing this.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, talk to me. What do you think?
So I had seen the reviews of this. I had been a longtime Metroid fan. I really loved Dread when it came out. Obviously, it's a 2D part of the series, not Prime. I hadn't played a Prime game, I think probably like most other people, in a long, long time. When I fired up Metroid Prime 4, I had seen the reviews be a little bit low. I'd seen the commentary and conversations about things like the NPCs, about the motorcycle in the desert. And so I was kind of starting this game with a bated breath, a little bit anxious, concerned that I wouldn't like it that much. I am very happy to say this might wind up being my favorite Metroid Prime. I haven't gotten to the end yet, so we always reserve for it to just fall off a cliff. But so far, 3 dungeons in, if you will, I could not be happier with how this game has come together. This is really the true inheritor, in my mind, to the kind of Zelda dungeon crown. Right? I love Breath of the Wild. I love Tears of the Kingdom, but they've kind of given up the environmental dungeon kind of concept. And Metroid Prime 4 reminds me how much I like that kind of ocarina dungeon design. And I could not be happier with how this one has turned out. Also, technically, on a technical level, this is probably the best art design that Nintendo has ever put on our screens. I am absolutely floored. Almost every corner I turn is just beautiful. And technically, it's just a masterpiece. It makes me so excited about what Nintendo can bring to the party going forward with the Switch 2 hardware set. I'm looking forward to everything from Xenoblade to Zelda on after playing Metroid Prime 4. So really just loving
Pokemon.
it. No.
They're not catching up. Sorry.
There's no hope there, sadly. Hoeg, so I agree with you. I think this is a very good Metroid Prime game. I played 1 remastered when it came out again, or fairly recently. I think I played through it like last year. Oh, yeah, okay. But I think I like finished it last year, and it's great. I love it, but I think this game's really good, dude. And honestly, I think the whole critique about Miles McKenzie is the most overblown, overly dramatic critique I've seen in a long time about a video game. For someone who especially has been playing through the game, and I fucking hate characters like that.
Yeah.
I've been talking shit on Marvel movies since like 2014 about their writing.
Oh, he was there before Endgame. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think Miles McKenzie is a good addition. I don't think he's a good addition.
No,
I don't like his inclusion. It just doesn't ruin anything.
It doesn't ruin anything. Like the whole like Marvel writing with him is literally when you meet him.
Yeah.
And most of the time, anytime you interact with the game, he's just like a normal NPC, how he talks to you most of the time. It's only when you like first meet him and you can go hours without interacting with these people or without interacting with him and like talking to him. There is still so much of that isolation in Metroid Prime 4. It's crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, I think people get really fucking uppity anytime someone speaks in a Metroid game. Like, anytime. There's people out there like, there should be no talking in a Metroid game. And I'm like, I'm fine with no talking in a Metroid game. It's cool, but I don't care if there's some talking in it. I'm open to the idea. I'm not one of those like weirdos about it. And I just think it's fucking overblown, honestly. Yeah. I'm surprised how dramatic and how much critique there's really been about it. If you've played the actual fucking video game, I'm sure a lot of people are just complaining on the side. And I mean, some people might just like it, whatever. That's an opinion thing, but I think it's completely overblown.
Now, yeah, I mean, I agree. It seems like it also seems like it's the part of the game. I think there are pockets of this game that feel stuck in time. Yeah. Like, would you say that's kind of how the interpretation is going down? Because I'm curious what your guys' take on Soul Valley is as well. Like, it seems like there's the dungeon part of this game is like 10 out of 10 phenomenal. Like what you waited for. And then there's parts of this game where you have your Miles McKenzie or your, oh my God, it's Samus. The things that people are obviously trying to share for virality purposes, or Soul Valley, where it's like, oh, this feels like this was an idea from like 2018 that got carried into this part of the game. So do you feel, Brad, just to start with you, do you feel
Soul
it's
Valley,
like there are parts of the game that are like trapped in time versus others
I haven't
that are more...
met that character yet that says, oh my God, Samus. But to me, it's like Samus is a extremely famous bounty hunter / mercenary in this universe, and everyone knows who she is. Like everybody knows who she is. So one person being excited about seeing Samus, it's like, okay, I don't see the big problem about that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But Soul Valley is, what's really interesting about this game is how it's kind of divided up in this Hyrule Field-esque kind of things. To me, that just replaced the elevators that would take you to different zones in a Metroid game. It just feels like they got rid of the elevators.
That's the experience talking. See, that's I haven't seen any reviews bring that angle up. That's the experience.
Yeah, it's just like, because in old Metroid games, like all these layers and whatever parts of the planets you go to are usually divided by like an elevator you ride down. And there are elevators in this game, but to me, it just makes the world feel more connected, I suppose, in a more like you're actually seeing the surface of this planet and like looking around. Have you played Majora's Mask, Matty?
I have not. I've only played Ocarina of Time.
But Hoeg, you've played Majora's Mask. So when you're like on Termina Field, you see like the mountains where there's the Gorons and there's the swamp area with the Dekus and the Bay area. That's what it reminds me a lot of. It's like you just get to kind of see these locations that are actually in this world, and it makes the planet, to me, feel like an actual planet, like rather than I'm actually exploring. Yeah. Now, I wish there was kind of more to do in the desert. There is stuff to do. Don't get me wrong. There are like little shrines that are... I think this is a trend with Nintendo they need to be careful about, and not putting shrines in every fucking video game they make.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you about
there's
that.
There's a lot of Zelda.
Yeah, there's a lot of Zelda and that kind of stuff. It seems like it's like they did this with Donkey Kong as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need this in every game, but for Metroid, exploration is such a big part about it. So I don't mind it so far. There's stuff in the world I haven't been able to interact with. There is still that Metroid feeling of, I need to come back here later. Quite a bit, actually, where I've been like, I don't have the ability for this kind of thing. So that is really good. But honestly, I don't really mind it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not saying I want every Metroid game to be like this or have to follow the same footsteps. But so far, I haven't finished the game yet. So maybe I'll feel different by the end. But playing the game, I'm like 6 hours in, maybe 5.5. It doesn't bother me right now. It just gives me this vast open feeling of, because you do feel alone out there, even when you're in the open space. Now, the music, there is like no music. There's just some weird ambiance here. And of course, Nintendo, apparently with the amiibo, gives you music to use that, which I think is extremely annoying.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been harking on this shit since Breath of the Wild came out, where you needed amiibo to get outfits in the game. And I've been calling out here, but now finally people are catching on to the amiibo bullshit. So I'm happy about that.
I'm not in favor of that either. My understanding, though, is that what the amiibo unlocks is a new game plus setting for the music jukebox.
Yeah, but it's like
after you beat the game. No, I think it sucks.
Yeah, it's not. You can get in the game,
you
but
don't get music.
Yeah, it's like you can get in the game, but you have to beat the game first when I've already gone through the whole thing. When the first playthrough is such an important playthrough to really sell you on it is bizarre to me. I like when I'm riding around out there, Hoeg, I'm like, yeah, it probably would be better with some music for sure. But I'm not like, this fucking sucks. This is dog shit. And I'm not even close to that level yet. So, but I guess with
your green crystals.
Yeah, the green crystals, it's like you upgrade it to something, and I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what it's going to unlock, collecting kind of thing. But that, so far, the aspect of it is like, yeah, you didn't need to do this for sure. But I guess, Matty, a lot of the things will be death by 1,000 cuts for me. But I've only got a few cuts right now where I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not nearly at that level to like hate this game like a lot of people have been hating. But I'm also a person that's like very for these games evolving and changing. I feel like a lot of Metroid fans and Zelda fans don't want things to change. They always got to be the same. They can't do evolutions. So I'm always into these ideas of them trying new things. And so far, nothing has been completely offensive where I'm like pissed off at the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, to your question, Matty, I would say I don't think Sol Valley is a great addition. I think it's solving a problem like Brad suggests, to have some kind of world that you can be on and feel like it's a world. I mean, I think the biomes are extreme enough that it doesn't quite feel cohesive. I mean, it's not designed to. I would rather have those extreme biomes, honestly, to explore, so you don't have to justify it in my eyes. But, you know, it's a desert between a frozen mountain, a lava volcano, a life tree, and all these other things that are wildly different. So I think it's solving a problem that probably didn't need to be solved, and I don't think it's solving it particularly well. I do think, however, that the outrage merchants online tend to magnify these things to a degree that is not useful for understanding how you're likely to feel about the game. And overall, the game is so high quality, the dungeons are so good to go through, that Miles McKenzie occasionally radioing you in or motorcycling into green crystals on the desert really doesn't hurt the experience all that much. You're not on the motorcycle for too long, even when you're out there on the desert. So I think it's all a little bit overblown. I think it's a really good game. I think none of these things have detracted from it so far. Like I said, there are little things that I think maybe could have been a little bit tighter. Like the structure of this game is very specifically kind of regimented. You've got 5 keys to collect in 5 dungeons. It's a little bit artificial. Not really in a way that Metroid isn't usually, but maybe a little bit more on the nose than I would like. And the initial kind of story beats to get you to this planet and all these other things are very, very, very lightly sketched. So much so that it's like when you lose all the stuff that you know you're going to lose as Samus at the beginning of a Metroid game, they really don't even bother to justify it at all. It's just, hey, you know what part of the game you're in. You've lost everything. It's like, okay, I guess that's fine, but I maybe would like a little bit more connective tissue around these things. And so it doesn't really detract from it for me. It might detract from it for you or for somebody else, that they don't really bother to try to do these things. Some of the stuff feels a little grafted on, like Viola, like the motorcycle in Sol Valley. But it's really not as bad, in my experience, as the people with the loudest voices suggest that it is online.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I'm curious, just this is more a broad topic. What do you guys think of the Zeldification of Nintendo's IP? Like, you have the trailer from Legends Arceus that replicates the same like walk up the hill that Breath of the Wild does. Obviously, as Brad kind of put out there, like Bonanza's got shrines. Now you got some form of shrines in Metroid. I worry that this kind of design element is it's bled into a lot of games beyond Nintendo, but the fact that it's bleeding into their own titles as well, I always worry about when an influence is too strong and you can't just recapture that magic. For me, I think back to Skyrim and how after Skyrim, like every fantasy game felt like it was trying to do what Skyrim did. My best example of that is Dragon Age Inquisition with the Hinterlands. And they failed pretty epically. You know, they created this bottomless well of content that didn't really capture that magic. They tried to mechanically get there, but they just weren't there. So I'm curious what you think about Nintendo kind of gently incorporating Breath of the Wild in everything. It feels like it's becoming more and more of a selling point. Like people are looking for the Breath of the Wild of this, the Breath of the Wild that. And I think Pokemon's always been the best fit, but I think it's just carried into their other games. So I'm just wondering what you guys think about that, like kind of making its way into Metroid. If it sort of, waters down any of the DNA that series has built up, or any of these Nintendo franchises are building up, because they're all inheriting this one property from a generational video game that Nintendo made in 2017.
Yeah, with Metroid, it's interesting because the only Breath of the Wild thing I guess I would feel from the game is the fact that it has kind of shrines-esque to it. Now, let me be clear. It's nowhere even close to the amount of Zelda. There's like few and far between amount of shrines that I've encountered in this game. And they're, for the most part, they're very short that you can go through. They're not even close to like Zelda length or anything like that.
Cool.
I don't want every game to have a shrine in it. I mean, the most important thing to me, Matty, is if there are the shrines in the game, are they fun? Do I enjoy doing them? And so far, they're just decent little puzzles. They're not like blowing me away or anything like that. But in terms of the kind of traverse world that you go through, the Hyrule Field, if you will, it's like, this is the 4th Prime game. They got to do fucking something different to separate it from these other 3 games.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with them trying that. I think it's a cool idea. There is definitely room for improvement, for sure. But I think as a stepping stone, it's not too bad.
Okay.
But Maddie, I don't want every game to be Zelda. I mean, I love Zelda. Zelda is like my favorite. So
sure.
Not every game is going to incorporate the elements as good as some others. But yeah, I think just trying to make everything Breath of the Wild is kind of a bad idea. Everything.
Yeah.
But it's hard when I feel like the core of Metroid is still really here and done really well. Really well. Particularly like those locations you go to, or what people are calling dungeons, which I think is so funny. It's like, these are just, the elevators are gone. That's all. They're just different locations that you go to. But I think the way they incorporate into the world are perhaps more believable than before. Like structures focused around, like one area, like the ice area you go to is like this crazy like lab that you would find in a Resident Evil game. That's what reminds me a lot of going to the lab. There's experiments going on there, and there's all this lore tied into it. There's notepads you can read all that to get like the notes. It reminds me of a Resident Evil game a lot. So that's all really cool. They kind of like fit all these things into the world in a more believable manner. There's like a mining facility or something. So I really appreciated all that kind of stuff. But
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really use the scanner. They really use the scanner.
Yeah, of course, you got to use a scanner
to try to set up like this was a really working facility. So this is what all the stuff does. This is how this would have operated in a really cool way. I think they do a really good job with it.
Yeah. Because basically you're on this planet where there was this like alien race that is like gone extinct essentially, and you are like their savior or whatever. Someone like speaks to you and all that kind of stuff, and you learn more about the planet and what happened to the civilization as you play through it. So it's like that post-apocalyptic, I guess, feeling in a Metroid universe.
On that same note, because I know, Hoeg, you haven't talked about the Zeldification of everything, but I also want to know for you guys, have both of you played Dread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious how you guys size this up to Dread. I love Dread.
Dread's great. Dread is just like more of an evolution of like the Super Metroid formula, the 2D.
Yeah.
Like I like Dread a lot. I think the robots they get a little carried away with that you have to like do those survival horror encounters with. I think they go a little too far on that kind of stuff, but I really like Dread. I think Dread is like one of the best 2D Metroid games that I can recall.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like I want the 3D Metroids to be different from the 2D ones. I don't want them all to feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I also really like Dread. I think the Prime series to me is a different ball of wax than the 2D Metroid series. So I don't even kind of view them in the same spot in my brain, but I like both of them kind of an equal amount. So yes, on the Zeldification, to me, I'm not as keen on defining just the presence of small challenges or challenge chambers as specifically Breath of the Wild. Absolutely, that's where that kind of design of giant world with 100 different things to do in little bits came from. But like, I don't mind it in Donkey Kong. I really didn't even view it as Breath of the Wild shrineage until you mentioned it in this conversation. I say, yeah, that is kind of that design. And here in Metroid, I mean, I think it's Zelda-y insofar as the dungeons are very kind of Ocarina. But when we talk about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, there's, I don't even know, maybe 5 or 6 like little puzzle bits out in the desert. It's not 100 that you're constantly looking at and finding.
It's very, very sparse.
Got it.
So it's a little bit. I don't want every game to be the same game. So I'm there with you there on that. I don't want everything to be a version of the Yubi game.
Right.
But I also don't really feel like this one winds up feeling all that much like Breath of the Wild. So I guess I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I don't really want people to be like, well, there's open spaces, so it's Breath of the Wild. It's like, no, it's not like that.
I've noticed the comparison in video game reviews is very much a useful tool if done right. But I think the second it gains that steam, like I saw one tweet comparing Soul Valley to Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time. And from there, it just became this big talking point of like, it's not that. And I'm like, I don't think anyone outside of one person I saw really did say, oh, it is this. And it just became this big talking point that just spiraled. And I'm like, I don't even know if that was what they were going for.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of related to something that people could kind of understand the concept of something.
It makes it easier to comprehend.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Yeah. It's a big hub with zones on like the corners. Yeah. And it is.
Yeah, it is. But like, I don't know why that's a bad thing anyways, if it's done well. I mean, it's done not particularly well. It's done decent here. Yeah. Still a lot of room for improvement, but like, does it fucking ruin the sanctity of Metroid in any way to me? As someone who's played pretty much every Metroid game since the 90s, it's like, no. I'm not.
No, this feels like Metroid. They did a really good job. It is maybe the prettiest thing you've ever seen from Nintendo.
It looks really good, dude. Really good. Nice HDR in the game as well. And this is a Switch game, like.
True. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how they flex.
Game.
Yeah, I mean, what's really cool about it is, Matty, is there is 120 frames mode if you want to do that, which is awesome. A nice little bonus. But natively, the game runs at 4K, 60 FPS. Looks really good. Like, the idea of 4K Nintendo games to me is still weird. I'm still not used to that. Yeah. I'm like.
Every time I start this game, I'm like, what?
You're not 1080p? Yeah. Wow. Holy shit. Hoeg, I'm curious. Have you messed with the mouse controls? I have not yet, but I've heard they're pretty good.
So I am a pretty persistent Pro Controller player on my Switch experiences. So no, there's no good way to make the Pro Controller be a mouse.
No, well, it's you use the Joy-Cons.
No, I know. I know how the mouse system works. I just mean that there's a lot of stuff that the Pro Controller can kind of emulate for the Switch. Including the gyro. Yeah. But they didn't figure out a way to make it be the mouse.
Right.
So I haven't taken my Joy-Cons off the Switch in maybe 3 months. I might do it eventually. I thought it looked cool in the treehouse when they were swapping between the two modes. But I haven't seen fit to need it yet. I mean, the Metroid Prime series has some combat, but it is not a combat-focused series. No. So you're not really in need of super quick twitch action.
Yeah. And I think from what I remember, the combat feels better in this one than any of the other Prime games that I've played. Some of the boss fights are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
They got a lot going on there. I will say one thing I'm not pleased with is I think the missiles feel a little weaker than I would like. I mean, shooting them feels good, but the amount of damage they do, I don't know if you've noticed this, Hoeg, but I feel like they should do more damage. But that's just one nitpick. I will say, though, it's worth it to explore a lot of times. Like even those little shrines out there in the desert, like Hoeg, I found a upgrade that let me do a charge shot of the fire gun and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, actual good rewards giving you incentive to explore. That's good shit. So I've appreciated stuff like that. Of course, you got your missile upgrades and your E-tank, and they have the like your elemental gun shots to upgrade those as well. So that's been really fun. There's still all the staples of Metroid games that you love. How do I get to this area? You can't do this yet. You got to come back and all that kind of stuff. So that's there. The spirit is here in this game. It's just a slightly different approach. So far to me, it's really great. I'm not saying I'd give it like a 9 or anything like that. Yeah, but we're if I was going to put a number on it, we're in the 8.5 territory for sure right now.
Nice.
Could definitely go up.
What I've said that I wanted to communicate with people is that despite what you might see in the aggregate reviews right now, I don't view it as a step down from the original trilogy of Prime.
No.
It feels like it belongs definitely with the Prime trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than 2. I'll say that. From what I remember.
And I like it better than 3.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 of the 3 already.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is maybe still better is maybe the first game right now. But I haven't played the
first game. Seems like it's a classic, though. You know.
Yeah. Prime 1 is a classic, of course. I mean, it was the first of its, that kind of Metroid game. So really good game. But I really dig Metroid Prime 4 Beyond right now. I'm glad to hear you're digging it too, Hoeg. It's really good. If you're a Metroid fan.
I was super surprised. Octopath Traveler and Metroid Prime came out on the same day.
Yeah.
And they both had gotten kind of not awesome reviews. And I was like, all right, let's give this a run. And it wound up being maybe my favorite day of pickups.
Yeah, that's a good
this
pickup
year.
day. Yeah, the Elden Ring DLC came out then as well for Night Rain. I haven't gotten a chance to play that, sadly. Too much good shit. Matty, though, I'm curious, Metroid. Are you a fan of the series? Are you curious about 4 at all?
Yeah, no, I mean, I played the opening hour of 4.
Oh, okay. You played a little bit.
I thought it was great. I mean, I didn't have much extra thoughts because I did preview that stretch of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I loved Prime Remaster. My first time playing Prime was with that remaster, and I only did it that way because it was like just that authentic recreation of it. But I thought that was an incredible video game. Dread was also awesome. I played Samus Returns. Like, I've dabbled I've played when they come out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I have not gone back. And the only reason I didn't go back to 2 and 3 was because I felt certainly they'd remaster those two. I really thought that was... Yeah. I thought that made a lot of sense. I was like, you guys just remastered the first one and then nothing until 4.
Yeah.
I usually don't bank my playing plans on that sort of stuff, but I really was caught off guard by that. I was like, wow, they didn't do it. So there goes that plan. But I'm still going to play and finish 4 because when I saw it was like a nice, like 15 hours top experience, I was like, that's what I'm looking for. And that's what I'm in for. So I'm actually going to probably tonight put some good hours into it because I like to on Retro Rebound, like compare and contrast. So I want to play some more 4 and then kind of look back at the original and kind of look at the 2 and sort of what's similar, what's not, and kind of talk about it more holistically because I think it's my way of mixing a review with a retrospective in a way that feels fun and fresh. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But overall, I do like the series a lot. I'm excited to play more 4 because when I play, I mean, I know the opening hours are considered pretty great. It's kind of like when you enter Soul Valley, you get into the green crystals.
The slowest part of the game is like when you get to the new planet and stuff like that, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I did say on Twitter was that I think if Nintendo made a big misstep here is that the right place to preview was the second dungeon.
Yeah.
Volt Forge, not the first dungeon, Fury Green. That Volt Forge feels a lot more like what I think people were expecting. And maybe Nintendo wanted to get out in front of it and introduce you to Miles McKenzie early. But I think that the stronger kind of this game is going to rock is in Volt Forge, not Fury Green.
Let's see. Sam W. wrote in and said, "Good day, summoners. I found Metroid Prime 4 to be nostalgically endearing and generally delightful. It harkens back to pre-Breath of the Wild design with clever puzzles, engaging action, and stunning visuals." Guys, Metroid had good design in the past, always before Zelda and stuff like that. Metroid's always had that. I find the criticism of its old school design a bit odd, especially when it's been so long since we've had a high budget game built around this style. The characters are fine, as they don't linger for long, and my only real criticism is the desert area. It feels half-developed, with a few shrines placed around, and you can tell Retro wasn't particularly interested in fleshing out this hub world. Overall, though, it's a strong recommendation from me, and I have a feeling it'll be evaluated quite highly in the future. I do too.
Yeah, I think that matches up with our thoughts nicely.
Yeah.
Which is to say, it's a good game.
The more I see people... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say is it got maybe a little bit overly negative critiques because of things like you're just not expecting Miles Morales. Yes, Miles Morales.
This is in the game.
If he shows up in Metroid, that'll be a big surprise. I'm sorry.
The more I see people playing it, they're like, oh, this is good. They're like, stuff's overblown. And I've been seeing that a lot, actually, now when people have getting their hands on it. So the journos were wrong this time.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. It got 8s, dude. It still scored really well.
8s are great, and I have sympathy for the journalists trying to extrapolate from what they were allowed to see and say this is the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A preview is completely different than a full experience. Sketch XR wrote and said, "Salutations, some summer summon signers." Wow. While I haven't gotten my hands on Prime 4 yet, I've seen something that needs sorting out. Over on Twitter, where all the I guess it's sorted out. I didn't realize it. Over the Twitter, where all the competent discourse goes to die, I've seen some groups of people taking or ranking Prime 4 over the coals for having millennial dialogue to the point of arguing. There should be no talking in Metroid. None. I believe this view to be historically uninformed, as there are plenty of Metroid games that feature dialogue or full-on voice acting, including but not limited to Metroid Fusion and Metroid Prime 3, and they are all very positive looked upon. Other M is not looked heavily positive upon, and I can vouch for that game. It's not good. I just replayed it. Anyways, rant over. I'll get off my soapbox. I'm curious where everyone else falls on the topic, especially those who have gotten their hands on Prime 4 already. Peace out. Yeah, I'm just on the camp of I don't think there should be any talking ever in a Metroid game. I'll be clear, though. Samus has not said one word in the entire game.
I don't think Samus is going to say any words.
She might say like 1 or 2 words, I bet, just like how they did in
Dread did it really well.
Yeah.
Dread did a great job of that.
If you're worried about
Honestly,
Samus talking, don't be here.
Yeah, honestly, it's a little off-putting whenever she gets hurt in my game because I'm not expecting it's a voice actress that's doing her getting hurt.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow, oh, okay.
Yeah. This isn't even close to Other M in terms of dialogue. Not even close. That game, actually bad dialogue. Horrible voice acting.
I watched.
No, and the Miles character in this is
surprised.
So bad.
The Miles character in this is supposed to be annoying. I know
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily ease up on him actually being annoying. I don't love his inclusion, but he's supposed to be annoying. That's clear. That's his shtick from the moment you meet him.
Yeah. All right. Boys, it's time for Sort It Out. This segment, we're just talking about something we're not pleased with in the game industry. It needs a little bit of work here. Hoeg, is there anything you think needs sorting out this week?
Yes, well, I don't think it'll come as a surprise after our prior conversations here, but my sorted out for this week was really that kind of one-note critic class that goes and takes one specific issue with a game, or really any piece of media, but since we're on a gaming show, we'll talk about games for this purpose, and really explodes that particular issue, makes it the point of their video series or their channel or whatever else kind of media platform they're using, and I think really detracts from the conversation that we can have about these things. I think it's much more useful to say, okay, well, the desert maybe isn't as fully fleshed out as it should be. It could do some things better here and there, but I understand why it's put there. It's to create this cohesive world. To have that conversation and to get that information across is more useful to your viewers, your listeners, whatever it might be, than to just yell into the void on these things. I understand how the algorithm works. I understand what incentives you're responding to with this stuff, but I would like it sorted out because you're not really adding to the truth value of the universe, and that's important to me.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off you right here, Hoeg, and to say that, not even with Metroid related, but people in general who their content is all around negativity.
Yeah.
If that's your whole thing, your opinion means much less to me because all you do is complain. That's all I'm going to expect from you. And that really feels like you're just chasing the buck at that point.
Yeah.
Unlike people like Matty. Matty does complain about stuff, but you also compliment stuff when it's there. I don't go to Mr. Matty Plays and expect everything Matty to be doing him bitching about something. He will if it calls for it, but he will also celebrate the good things. And I think
thank you.
When you have an opinion like that or perspective, someone like that, their word means a lot more because you know it comes from a more honest place. Instead of just chasing the dollar.
Yeah, I think the problem I have with the internet is the more like narrow point of view. I've actually literally dealt with this with like companies that come to me and like bitch about my content, and I just that alone I can't fucking stand. Right. Like, get out of my face. But like they'll come to me and they'll have these issues, and I'm just like, or like viewers will come in with those same issues, and like on Mr. Matty, like, oh, there's a lot of negativity lately. I'm just like, yeah, well, go watch Retro Rebound if you want to see me like gas up everything for like 2 months in a row, because that's basically what we do there. But I think it's become this nature of like titles and thumbnails are everything. Yeah, and that's, I think, thanks to things like Twitter, where you just kind of get like that one note, and that's it. You know, so I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot.
Yeah. And I mean,
I just trying to keep it balanced.
No, yeah. And I understand it's easy to be cynical and get caught in the cycle, especially when it starts working for like channels and stuff like that. And I get it, but it's like, you got to call out the good also. You got to balance it out. Call out the bad, of course, but call out the good. You got to celebrate the good things.
I get why people don't. Like, I'm not saying it's right, but I get why people don't. Like, when I like went on this streak of like crapping on Bethesda because Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition was terrible. And then I looked at the show trailer and I went, fuck yeah, this is awesome. I made a video on it. There was a bunch of people in my audience like, what the fuck is this, bro? And I was like, oh, no. I was like, we're not doing this. I was like, we're not doing the whole, I have to shit on everything Bethesda related now because I don't like what they do with it. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's, and I think that pressure, because like there were people like mass disliking the video, leaving like hurtful
Because
comments.
you liked the trailer?
Yeah. And I was just like, look, man, like you guys can do that, but like I'm not interested in bending to like eventually then everything sucks. And then if I like something, like I would just fucking shoot myself.
Yeah, that's like a miserable existence.
Yeah, exactly. So I say like I get that, because you do feel that pressure of like, whoa, man, like life would have been really easy here if I just like fell in line. But I think people just want to snowball. Yeah, I think a lot of times.
Yeah, it's important to be honest about your content. You're going to get pushed back no matter what, but
yeah, that's kind of what we all deal with, right? You just kind of accept like people are going
to be mad at you no matter what, matter what you do.
Yeah,
you can cure cancer and someone will be mad at you. It's going to happen. Yeah. Why didn't you do it sooner? Some shit like that. There's always going to be an excuse.
I got an amazing comment on a retro rebound video I sent it to my friend. Because like when you open your YouTube Studio app, like it'll literally show you like 3 recent comments that you got. And this guy commented on my Disney Infinity video. It was so funny.
Shout out
just
Disney
said like
Infinity.
It said like holy in caps ... He's like, dude, you're the biggest fucking dork I've ever seen in my life. He's like, I clicked on this video to find out the game is good, and you're just on a nostalgia high. This is like, I thought that shit was so funny.
YouTube comments are a different breed. That's for sure.
I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah, that's the right attitude to have, dude. Yeah. Okay, Matty. I know we kind of talked about this, but is there anything else for you?
Yeah. I got my sword. I actually wrote down my sword out a couple of days ago, Brad.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
So I decided to, in my push for shorter experiences, I decided I want to do a platinum trophy run for Fallout New Vegas.
Oh boy.
This is, I know, right? I'm going to dare to play.
Is New Vegas on platinum PlayStation?
It's on PS3.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll get into the sorted out. It'll all make sense. People probably think I'm going one way with this, like sorted out PS3 games. No, what I'm issuing a sorted out to is PS3 games on PS5. Just do it already, and in more ways than one. Because right now, the way you play PS3 games on PS5 is you stream them. And oh boy, this is very much the PS3 version. Like I walked through the dust cloud in Good Springs and my frames went through the floor. I was like, whoa. So nice authentic experience. Now it streams nicely. Like it like I was running it, no problem at all. 2 things though that I need to sort out. Number 1 is that the PS Portal through PS Plus got this really great update where you could just straight up stream a lot of new games. Like Octopath Traveler 0 is a great example. I bought it on my PS5 to play there, but I played like 3 or 4 hours of that game just on the Portal in bed. Like I just streamed it straight to that device and it was awesome. I want PS3 games to have the ability to do that. If we're going to go streaming, like let me stream them that way. Why not? I think that would be awesome. But also like being able to download them would be nice too. I think that'd be great. But yeah, it's just that ease of access. Like it feels very one-dimensional. Right now, the only way I can play PS3 games on my PS5 is stream them through the console. It's like, okay, if you're going to do streaming only, that's fine. Let me stream it to my Portal then. I can't do that. So I would love to be able to do that. And of course, you know, the installation would be the cherry on top. Because with Octopath Traveler 0, I was finishing the boss fight for Fame Chapter 2. And the stream just like my connection wasn't flickering or anything, but then all of a sudden my internet just went out, which never happens, but it just like off it went. It's like, oh shit. So I lost my connection there. And you had that moment of like, damn, I wish there was like an autosave or some kind of backup there because I had to refight the boss again. So, you know, I would like just PS5 to like push it streaming a little bit further in those ways. Like give me PS3 access, maybe like I don't know how it would work, but like a way to pick up where I left off in case internet goes out or unexpected complications occur. So not like a really negative sort out, more like you're basically there. Just take it one step further for me, you know? And so, that was all inspired by my beginning of my platinum trophy run for New Vegas on PS3, because I have the platinum for 3 and 4. I'm very close to 76, but I'm going to save that one for a real rainy day in more ways.
That's got to be some time.
76, I had 150 hours on it from when it first came out, plus Wastelanders, and I mean, I've put the work in on that game. That's why I feel very liberated to bitch and moan about that game and what it is, because I show up for every damn update. I don't care what anyone says. They're like, oh, dude, they're like, you just want single player stuff. I'm like, yeah, because I've played like fucking 250 hours of this shit. I know the highs and lows of this game. Anyway, spark that whole run because I need to do a New Vegas run before this TV show season comes out. Like
Sure.
it's got to get done. It's got to get done. So
that's imminent, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's this month.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get the platinum by then, but I'll definitely beat the game by then. That'll be fun.
I mean, PS3 on PS5 has been a problem for so long. It's like, what are we doing here, man? How is this not? How can you not fucking get this going? Like, apparently you can behind the scenes. They just have to do it for every game. But it's like,
I feel we're
where
close.
are they? Let's get them out there.
I feel we're close. You know,
like,
they
are we
have
gonna
the whole
wait till
classic
PS6?
library. Yeah, because I busted out my PS3 this last couple of weeks, and it's been great to go back to. You know, one of the games that we'll talk about today, I've been playing my PS3, and it's awesome. But obviously, I'm a big proponent of like, I don't mind using my PS5 for everything. Just move my library forward or make these games accessible. I just like the ability to play those PS3 games via an install. They don't even have to be prettied up, but just an install would go a long way.
Even if it was just a straight port, I'd take that over nothing.
Yeah, because that PS3 library is so good. I think the reason there's such great interest in this console all these years later is because like a lot of 360 games fortunately did carry forward. So like when I do retrospectives on like PlayStation stuff, it's because a lot of those games are stuck on the PS3 that like those games, those videos tend to do well. Where like 360, I mean, people like can access them whenever. So there's no like secrecy or hidden gems or anything like that. But the idea of like, hey, you know, we get like a state of play and they announce that like Folklore is available on PS5.
Oh
like,
my God, I would be so happy.
Yeah, like that'd be fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. So Folklore, Puppeteer. Let's do it, Sony.
Yeah, like that library, it reminds me, I realized when I took it out and started looking at all my games truthfully, I was like, wow, this reminds me a lot of how I felt about the Vita, where there's just a lot of games here just gated off that like, you know, the Resistance trilogy, Killzone trilogy, you know, there's so many that come to mind where I'm like, man, it'd be great to just bring these back. So,
it's a shame. There are a lot of great games stranded on there. Metal Gear Solid 4. Maybe one day. All right. Let's see here. Daniel Ross wrote in and said, sort it out to Microsoft. How come fans can make an excellent reimagining of the first Banjo-Kazooie level within fucking dreams and you refuse to find anybody to just start to make a proper Banjo game? Actually, that's not the first level in Banjo-Kazooie. It's one of the first levels. I'll give you that, but it's not the first. But yeah, Matty, what's going on here, man? You know I've been clamoring for a Banjo game here.
Yeah.
Are you not satisfied with your nuts and bolts?
No. Oh, no. Hoeg, you remember our Hall of Greats, right? At Easy Allies?
I do, of course.
Did you ever see Hall of Shame that we did? We would do Hall of Shame once a year.
You didn't nominate nuts and bolts,
I did. Got that motherfucker in. Because it's so bad.
I like the concept of nuts and bolts. I just didn't think the physics was there yet.
It's fine. It's not a Banjo game, though.
Nope. Granted.
Yeah, I've kind of entered the acceptance phase with Microsoft and Xbox. That's how I call it. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah. How long have you been in this phase, Matty?
I'd say about a month and a half now.
Okay.
You know, like I've just kind of been like, they suck, and that's what it is, dude. Like they're not like they just like it's been obvious before Phil got fucking hijacked by Satya that people wanted Banjo. Like he could have fucking greenlit this. Yeah. There's a bunch of people who could have given this one the green light. There's a chance we get Spyro, give him Toys for Bob.
Sure.
Seemed they had the whole purple themes, and they had a partnership with Xbox that they were working with on their next game. So I think it's going to be Spyro. So like there is that, but I mean, Banjo's been such an obvious ask for a while, float around the rumor mill enough to like gauge interest and show that like it was trending and people making videos about it. Like there's enough there to, I think, say like, hey, look at this, boss. Like, let's green light this thing. Rare needed something to fucking do that wasn't Everwild, clearly, and so on. So I think there's a lot of reasons to do it, but now you've lost the guy who I think directed and like created that series from Rare following all the layoffs recently. And it's like, now you just don't want Banjo for them. And then this is perfect. They will make it now.
Yeah.
And it will be worse.
They'll greenlight it.
Imagine.
It'll be from Infinity Ward.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Dude, Banjo with a gun. Okay.
So yeah, when you ask me what's going on, it's like, you know, it's business as usual. They're not going to give you what you want. They're in the business of giving you Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and maybe a new Fallout game and Fable and
Fallout
Forza
5's
Horizon.
greenlit now. So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that they didn't have something more Fallout related ready to go for the Amazon series.
Oh, don't get Matty started. Don't get Matty started.
Let's reel it in, boys. Let's just not.
But let's change this to a keep it up, because that Dreams level looks insane.
Yeah, that is a great, really good. They did a really good job. In fact, they did such a good job. Rare themselves retweeted and said, "Put our fancy's hat on just so we could tip to this incredible work."
Love that.
It looks amazing. Good for Rare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does look really cool. I don't have Dreams, and I don't plan on buying it, but shout out. God bless, you're making it on Dreams. That's not on PC when it should have been at launch. Okay. Sorry, I got to twist the knife a little bit more, Matty. I'm curious.
Oh, no.
I saw Black Friday. They got outsold by a little like fucking console I've never even heard of.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that. So I saw to be fair, I am headline mongering now. I just saw it was like PlayStation, Nintendo, and I saw like, what was it, NEX? I was like, who the fuck is
Playground?
I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know anything. I'm gonna sound ignorant. I don't, but I was like, Xbox wasn't in the top 3.
So I got to raise my hand now and admit that I bought a Next Playground on
what is it?
Black Friday sale. So you're really going to get upset about this. It's a Kinect. It's a little boxed Kinect that sells motion-based kind of mobile games. Like the big claim to fame is Fruit Ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Which you might recall had a Kinect version.
Yeah.
So it's a little box that sits under your TV and picks up your kids' body movements so that they can play Fruit Ninja and things. And then the big claim to fame is that it's cheap. It's like $200. And then also you can get the entire library of games that anybody's bothered to make for this thing for a subscription pass that you can buy in 3 or 12-month increments. You might recognize these business models from another major player in the video game industry. But it took what worked for Microsoft, which remember the Kinect was actually really, really popular as a consumer piece of technology. And says, all right, so why was this popular? We're going to sell it to families with energetic kids, and we're going to make it just ridiculously cheap in the consumer tech space, but it's a Kinect.
Yeah,
it is.
Oh, man, this is fucking bleak, dude. That's so bad. I had no idea this is what it is. They got outsold by a fucking motion gaming console. That's crazy, dude. This is the iToy in 2025.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's so bad.
I've got one on order.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do they sell them at like retail stores?
I got mine on Amazon.
Okay, so they have some at least. I wonder if you can like walk into a Target and buy this or something like that.
I don't know.
I got to read it. It's more obviously, I do my, for those who don't know, we were recording this on Monday. I do my scripts for Duke on Tuesday where I get to catch up on foreign stories like that. That's,
should be a fun Duke then.
That is so interesting, man. They got outsold by this shit. That's, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, it's got great reviews. I'm just more saying like,
it's like, what is this?
Yeah, man.
Getting beat by this thing?
Yeah. Oh, Xbox. Oh,
God
Xbox,
bless Xbox.
Man.
You got to respect the people that niche down into those specific audiences. Yeah. That's a good business plan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Stop twisting the knife, guys.
You heard him.
Oh, man, that's funny. All right. Hayden Glass wrote and said, howdy, summoners. Sorted out miserable internet haters, specifically in regards to the weird hate boners popping up for Metroid Prime 4. I have no issues with critiquing games, but the way people have gone out of their way to slam this game is wild. I'm not even referring to negative reviews. It's the people who always get off on hating stuff. These losers have gone as far as harassing devs and have completely ruined the online discourse around this game. Sorted out. Groundhog's Day. This happens all the time.
Has anybody been harassed on Metroid Prime 4? I didn't hear that.
I have no idea. I'm not sure.
I assume somebody's being harassed every day, but
I feel like people have different definitions of harassment and stuff like that. It's like if someone tweets at you once, that's not harassment or whatever. If they're tweeting at Retro and be like, what the fuck? It's not really harassment.
What I find funny is when you look at like the UN commissions or the Senate hearings about whether you got death threats in your DMs on Twitter or something. And it's like, I'm sure that yours are worse than mine, but as somebody with only a modicum of internet success, it's like I've gotten plenty of death threats and other really nasty gram versions of messages in my Twitter DMs. So it's not, I don't want the world to be that way, but I also don't think it's like a wild news item for Senate hearings or anything that is in fact happening.
Yeah. People just get carried away all the time.
They do.
Way too carried away. It's totally fun to criticize something like that, but don't be a psycho about it. It's that easy.
Yeah. I'm glad there is passion. I sincerely am.
Yeah.
But when it's aimed at you, it gets upsetting.
Yeah. All right, this is from Easel. All right, I hate to do this, but it's been long enough. I'm issuing a firm sorted out to Mr. Matty Plays or G27 status. To finally make this holiday the year, he finishes the
full name.
I know. Complete The Witcher 3's 2 fabulous DLC expansion packs. This has gone on long enough. As someone who prides themselves on good character writing and set piece execution, this is a must. Not someday, this holiday break. I'll let Hoeg, Gene, Micah, Brad, or just about anyone else who has played them speak their own reasons why. No more excuses. In all seriousness, I know the backlogs are immense and overwhelming, but this is a solid 20 hours you owe it to yourself to experience. The game even includes a start fresh on Hearts of Stone save file at the main menu. You can continue that file into Blood and Wine. Cheers and have a no, really, I must tick this box kind of day. Easel.
That last
Matty,
part is very convincing. Yeah.
It's hard for me to say to you, you need to play this because I know you're infinitely busy and always playing stuff like that. These are excellent. Excellent. But I know you, Matty,
I can confirm.
And for your business, you might as well wait till Witcher 4 stuff's coming around.
Yeah. At the same time, I do owe it to myself. There is that level of like being real myself. Like, I always sing the praises of The Witcher 3. I struggle to go back to the game, to be fair, though. Like, it is a big undertaking that I forgot about, though, that you can start the save file fresh.
Yeah.
I just always imagine myself like re-immersing myself with everything Witcher 3 at some point. I just really struggle to like its combat and its and when I say
it's the worst part of the game.
I don't mean the world itself, but rather like the question marks on the map. And I think The Witcher 3 is a moment where a lot of design elements got funneled into like this one game. And so things like the Witcher senses being used to follow blood or footprints, like these things that every AAA game afterwards is like, that's a great idea, has been done so much that I think it waters down some of, not all of, The Witcher 3, where it kind of to and fro sucks much more than I remember. But the character writing and the storytelling and whatnot is excellent. So it's a little bit more of a bumpier ride for me to get back to. But to be fair, Easel does point out something I did completely forget about. I always forget that I can just jump in from a fresh save file. Now you see my problem, though, because this is the developer making it easy on me. It's like, oh, I could just do that. And then you can be talking about like New Vegas Platinum Run and Octopath Zero actually being way better than I expected. And the list goes on of like, I want to play Deus Ex before the remaster because I want to get the true experience in. And I want to just hammer out games in my PS3 backlog and et cetera, et cetera. So like, my problem is I like too many things. Like I really do. I've accepted that part about myself. I wish I had a much more defined, like I'm a fighting game fan. My life would be so much fucking easier, dude. But I like everything that's like, even puzzle games now, I'm like kind of like, oh, interesting. And I don't know, man. It's like, it's good to have that enthusiasm. Like I'm very happy I have such a legit joy for this thing that I just want to play and mess around with everything. But it's tough in these stretches where I'm like you can just stack the experiences mile high. Yeah. So that's why sometimes it is easier for me to organize my brain. Like I know you said business. I don't want people to hear that and think like I'm talking views and money for this thing.
Right.
It's more like that's like a good time for me to go all in without feeling like I've given up reviewing. Because that means if I play The Witcher 3 in full, I think that'll be worth it. I think my audience will show up for that. But that definitely means I'm giving up reviewing probably 3 other games because of the length of this thing. So especially if you include the DLC. So I have to weigh that sort of stuff out. And it's easier to do when I know for a fact that, oh, Witcher 4 is about to come out. People are going to be like looking up and actively engaging in Witcher 3 stuff. So that's how I think about things. And sometimes I definitely kick the can down the road too far because then I get to that point and then there's other things happening that I couldn't foresee going on. So there's never any catching up, right? That's like it's a great problem to have because there's just a lot of good shit. But it's like these moments here where I'm like, yeah, like that's one that I didn't even think about in my backlog for this holiday. So it's fair call out. Fair sorted out. I will not dispute this one. And the option is there. I've been building a list. And as Santa says, I'm checking it twice. We'll see what makes the cut. I think my post-break DD will be one for the ages. We'll see what I really sat down with.
Matty, here's what my plan is.
I even had Titanfall 2 on this list, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. Like
Titanfall 2, great campaign.
It's a lot
Great
of
game.
like I'm trying to get my half-eaten sandwiches off the plate, as Todd
You can
would
only
say.
you can only do so much. Maddie, I'm in your territory right now though. So holiday break game will be finishing Trails. After that, I have queued up. I have these installed, ready to go.
Oh, he's committed.
Oblivion Remastered, because I've never played through Oblivion.
Oh,
I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Next, after that, Tainted Grail is on the list. So,
good timing.
You're going to play that after Oblivion?
I think so. That's the plan. But I might put something in between because they're both first-person RPGs.
Yeah,
as far as
I would recommend that, but
structure.
also there's murmuring of what's something going on with that game with like new updates. There was like an expansion leak. So good timing. But yeah, I think after Oblivion, definitely.
I'll see how I feel. I might need a break from first-person RPGs, but I want to play these games badly. So
yeah,
got to make it happen one way. But Oblivion first up, just because it's a legendary game and I need to play through it.
I just want to ask with Oblivion, how much are you releasing yourself to this? Are you just trying to beat the faction quest lines, or are you just like, if I'm here for 100 hours?
I plan on just getting lost and doing what I feel like doing in the game.
Cool.
I'm not like, I'm going to 100% everything, or I'm not going to mainline it. I'm just going to do what feels right in the world.
You should, like, if you're going to check any boxes, you should make sure you do the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild.
I remember those from Skyrim, and I thought those were cool. So yeah, I was planning on doing those.
It's widely considered the best thing Bethesda's ever written or even done is Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion.
Okay.
And I can see where people are coming from.
That's
it's
good
very
news.
Good, very memorable.
Okay. Excellent.
So yeah, if you're checking any boxes, I just want to make sure. I also think the main story is like low key really good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's iconic in its own weird way because like real voice actors. Like Bethesda had that weird thing where they just like brought these real actors into their games for prominent roles, like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart right away. Yeah. But like you, Matt, I'm always communicating with Locke, so Locke will be up to date on my progress, and he'll tell me, make sure not to miss things.
Excellent.
Okay, boys, it's time for Keep It Up. The exact opposite of sorted out stuff we're pleased with in gaming right now. Hoeg, what about you? Pleased with anything?
So it's Game Awards week.
Yes.
As we were talking about at the top of this episode. And while I'm not the biggest fan of what the show has become, there is one aspect that I saw Jeff Keighley tweeting about earlier that is my favorite part of the Game Awards. And that is the essentially what happened this year in video games trailer that airs almost always immediately before like the award show proper commences. And I think he does such a great job of this. I always feel fired up about games as an industry, about the stuff that I've played. Keep it up, Jeff. The trailer is awesome. Maybe not keep it up with the length of the show and some other stuff that happens in it, but keep it up with the trailers. It's really my favorite part of the whole experience. And I was so happy to see you tweeting about making it this last week.
Piggyback off that. If you haven't seen it yet, we did do some sacred bets for the Game Awards, where I sat down with the Sacred Symbols boys. So we went over all those Game Award bets. So if you're curious about that, check that out. It's out now on Plus. Watch it before the Game Awards this Thursday.
Hell yeah.
Maddie, what about you?
Yeah, I teased it earlier in the show, first segment. Keep it up, Game Awards statue mystery.
Yeah.
I like that we don't know what the fuck is going on here. And I know like Schreier's he's kind of pitched in time too many, I feel. Like he kind of tried to control the noise. I don't like the whole power dynamic that kind of sounds like is there, where he's like, I think when he said it's not Elder Scrolls 6, he's like, this is getting out of hand. Like, it's not Elder Scrolls. I was like, dude, like, I think part of the fun of this is people don't know. We're so used to knowing everything before it gets revealed. And
I suspect it's very important to Jason Schreier that we know that he knows.
Yes. And that's the vibe I'm kind of getting with that sort of stuff. So that aside, like that the Game Awards statue has remained a mystery. No one has pulled the trigger. And there is obviously it has to deliver for us to be like, wow, that was a moment. But you can feel a difference in the air when leakers keep to themselves versus difference heading into the show. And we kind of know what to expect. There's still like an air of, obviously there's always that ability to shotgun blast a bunch of rumors out before the show even hits. It's usually in that dying like day that we get a lot of them. But I like that right now we have no idea what this statue is. I love the sense of mystery because it does bring me back, man. Like I like that guessing and that wondering and that excitement of just like, okay, I'm going to tune in. I want to find out. That's obviously a 3-hour show for what this statue game is tough to justify. But I guess learning like what is that and what else will be here while I'm there. And, obviously the rumors surrounding the show in general have been pretty compelling, at least for me in particular. So I just kind of like it where I know it's kind of can't have your cake and eat it too, right? Like a lot of the content I make sometimes is because of the rumors that pop up. And so it's like, I get that element that it's like without those, like there are sometimes days I'm like, I don't know what I'd really talk about today.
Right.
But I do love for the fan and myself included that we just kind of don't know. And I love not knowing going into these big shows where there's big reveals. So keep it up on that front. I like when leakers show to state hand because also I've noticed, I think it was 2 years ago when Xbox had a show and nothing was really leaking for it. I feel like when leakers are reserved, it's usually a pretty good sign of things. Like it's usually a good sign because they kind of all, it's also a little weird when you really think about it that they all kind of swear themselves to a form of silence at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this, a fucking cult? I'm just surprised no one like cuts in from underneath them all and is like, well, you're trash, my treasure. Like I'm gonna leak all this shit now and drive traffic to my site. But I'm happy it happens nonetheless because we get to guess and have a little fun. And I think that's exciting. Because can we name a time where we've seen this sort of debate over a statue and like, what is it? And people are like, I thought it was the reason I didn't think about it much when I first saw it is like, this is going to peter out, but it just kept up. And like, people were like, no, it's not this. No, it's not this. Oh, it might be this, but it might be that too.
I got to be honest. I assumed it was Diablo the second I saw it.
Yeah.
And then it was only when that got said
Debunked.
that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, debunked. That I said, okay, well, what could it be?
Yeah, it is really exciting. It's fun. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I hope it's something really bad. So everyone gets like that. It's like a free to play mobile game. It's like,
I was gonna say there is a shot that it's a Korean gacha game.
Yeah.
There
is a shot.
I mean, whoever's doing this could be the most brilliant marketer if they know what IP they have and they're like, people are going to be excited about this. It could also be like, if it is that sort of like, oh, it's a mobile game, or some people are like, oh, it's an expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. There is that level of like, why did you spend so much resources on this one thing? Like you built a massive statue in a desert and dropped it off there to hype up your fucking gacha game or your expansion to your known MMO. It's got to be something new. That's all I'm really hoping for. I think I'd be satisfied with that. As long as it's like, oh, new IP or old, really it's old IP returning that I'm more so expecting. That would warrant the big deal feel of all of this.
Okay.
I just don't know what regal inspiring thickness is in reference to. That's the other thing that has me very curious. I'm like, what? Like, it's an anagram? Like, I don't know.
It's a really odd new take on Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider just got confirmed for the show this year, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Well, we won't have to wait much longer, hopefully, see that statue.
Yeah.
All right. Just for me, quickly, good job, Retro. I'm pleased with Metroid so far. It's been 11 years since you made a new game. Not a port, a new game. So it's been a hot minute. Tropical Freeze was your last game. But yeah, I'm pleased with Prime 4 right now. Good shit. Hopefully I love it even more by the end, but we shall see. But yeah, so far, so good. I know this game went through development hell with a different developer at the start and all that kind of stuff. It had the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment going on. So turned out well. When a game is like in that situation, I'm always pleased when it turns out fairly well, at least.
Yeah.
All right. Ben Matthews wrote and said, "Hey crew, a big keep it up to the next next playground. No
Nice.
clue what this is, but it outsold Xbox this Black Friday. I'm sure it's a super hardcore console, and I look forward to a new LSM show dedicated to covering it. Cheers."
All right, I'm on the next show. Tell Colin.
Yeah.
We have to call it Next Underground.
Next Underground.
Let's go.
That's our next show. That's right.
We can announce it here because we have no authority over this channel whatsoever.
Man, I just looked over at Matty as soon as I finished reading that.
Homelander.
The face, the face, dude. Very good.
It's just like okay, let me go. It's just a level of like pride. You know, I get it. It's like, oh, we're making money. Like no doubt Phil will follow this up, or Sarah or Matt will follow this up with like, well, do you know how many players engage with our dude? I don't care. I don't care how many players you actually got. This is embarrassing. Like you need to have a sense of pride and be like, wow, we've been in the business for 25 years next year. And guess what? We just got outsold by Next Playground, dude.
Yeah.
Next Playground. So fucking insane.
On the
All
biggest shocking
respect to
day of
Next
the year.
Playground for finding their audience and really just like driving it home, man. But like all disrespect to Xbox for just having an audience and not being able to move units. That's unreal.
Yeah.
And
so, do they have Black Friday deals or anything on Xbox?
I
stuff?
did not look deeply into it. I know like on their digital storefront they did and stuff, but I don't believe they did any discounts
For
this
hardware.
holiday season.
Okay.
Which just like, yeah, dude, I'm just like, don't you, if you're trying to sell software, wouldn't you, and just you want to offload the remaining hardware, wouldn't you just deep discount this, get into as many hands as possible so they could just buy the software and you get 100% of the cut? Like, isn't that the idea?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I also don't understand much of what they're doing nowadays. So.
Okay. Marcus wrote in, hey, Summoners, just wanted to give a keep it up to Analog 3D. After submitting my order last year and experiencing the 8th month delay in release, I finally got my hands on a beautifully made piece of hardware. Being able to play Diddy Kong Racing and Perfect Dark at lock 60 frames per second, as well as Banjo-Kazooie at lock 30 frames, enhanced colors, increased resolution, and the hardware being able to make a modern TV look like the original CRTVs. I must say, it is so damn cool to play my original cartridges on a modern day N64. Sure, it costs me 250 euros or pounds. Wait, is that euro? Yeah. I still have my collection, and I despise how the N64 looks on modern OLEDs. Big shout out to them for making a fantastic piece of hardware. Time for another Ocarina playthrough. Wishing all LSM and the listeners Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Very nice. Yeah, I just saw they announced like a bunch of colors for this thing as well.
Yeah.
I saw Dustin was peeping one.
Yeah.
Cool. I still have a lot of my N64 cartridges. Not bad, but I probably won't buy one. But I'm glad it's an option.
It's fair.
Matt, do you have any interest in this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay.
I have the Analog Pocket, and it's
Me too.
awesome.
I love the Pocket. It's great.
Yeah. So they have their issues with communication and stock big time as a company, but their products are really good so far. So I definitely, I mean, because for me, I don't mind like replacing the old N64 with this. It's like, This is kind of the upgrade thing I was looking for. Just why it's the same reason why I don't use my Game Boy Color or Advance SP, because I use my Analog Pocket. It's really great. So I like what they're doing here. I would love to get my hands on one for sure. But I didn't really understand what was going on. I thought that they were like out of stock, but then I saw a bunch of YouTubers posting their reviews, and I looked and like some people were also getting theirs. And yeah, like right now it says I'm looking at these new transparent ones look kind of nice. They're available December 10th is when you can pre-order.
They look pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, these are kind of nice. And then
especially because there were N64s that kind of looked like this transparent colored ones. Especially that green one, the jungle green Donkey Kong 64 one, Maddie. That's for you.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, and like even it says that the pre-order is December 10th. Yeah, for even this regular one, shipping January 2026. So yeah, I won't. If I get my hands on this, I won't get it till next year. But I'd like to.
NJA Viral wrote in and said, or Ninja Viral, hey there, Summoners. I just want to give a keep it up to Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards. Are they perfect? No. Do they always have issues? Oh, yeah. But I'm so excited to sit down, celebrate the year in the medium I love most, and get a glimpse of what's to come. I'm getting together with some friends and coworkers to drink, eat, and watch a show this year.
Nice.
And isn't that what it's all about? Plus, the orchestra kills every time. Best part for sure. Thanks for all you guys do. I love listening every week. Yeah, I think it's important to remember the good things that the Game Awards does.
Yeah, Expedition 33 is going to be pretty awesome in live music form.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That game's going to clean up. That's at the worst.
I agree.
Clean up.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this last part here about getting friends together, watching the show. I used to do that when my friends like lived closer when E3 was on Spike, and that was a ton of fun, dude. I remember it so well. And so yeah, I really I relate to that hard, and I miss those days. So that's cool that people are still doing that with the Game Awards.
Yeah, that is cool.
Kind of rings in the holiday season, because I think for a lot of us, like we're always go, and it feels like an actual like closing of the door where it's like, okay, news is going to slow down now.
Yeah, nothing till next year, pretty much.
Yeah, so you can actually, I guess, rest your brain a little bit with some peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. All right, it is time for a game recommendation from the audience for the audience. James wrote it, said, "Greetings, summoners. Got a game recommendation. Metal Garden. A short an hour and a half to 3 hour single player atmospheric FPS game that follows a nomad traveling through an overgrown megastructure. The game has shades of Fallout and Halo. If that interests you, check out the Steam page. It's quite cheap and well worth the time. It's one of my favorites of the year, and it deserves more attention. Thanks, lads, and keep up the great work. P.S. Metal Garden, not to be confused with Metal Eden." Yeah, different games. Metal Garden, little hour and a half, 3 hour single player
this is very
FPS.
Cute. Oh,
It is very gray looking.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So if you're curious about that, Hoeg, give the audience one game recommendation. Could be any game.
One game recommendation? Yep. All right. There is a game I've been playing this past week that I've really enjoyed that was made by a small indie crew that loved DS detective games.
Oh.
And they made a game called Detective Instinct. Farewell, my beloved. But if you just have Detective Instinct, you're going to have enough to find this game. It is a detective game of the kind like you might have played MEO the Smiling Man from Nintendo proper pretty recently. It's that kind of game. You've got the talk options. You've got the think options. You've got the anime characters directly in frame talking to you. But I've enjoyed it quite a lot this past week. So with that as a recommendation, if you like detective games, if you like that kind of output, I think they did a really good job.
Matty, give them one game. Any game.
Florence.
There you go.
I played that on Steam because my friend gifted it to me a couple weeks ago. I just played it last week. It's a 40-minute game. I don't want to say too much because it is that short. It was originally a mobile game. They brought it to PC. And I would just say, I think the message about relationships and, what matters to people in life is really poignant. It shows that you can say a lot with a little. It's a game that doesn't say a word at all, but it's all told through like visuals and little mini games. And so, yeah, if you're looking for like a kind of shot in the arm style game, very cheap, again, 40 minutes, so very low commitment. You could, again, play it on your phone if you want. It's called Florence. And I thought it was really good. Really good game. Yeah.
All right. One game I'm going to recommend the audience because it got brought up earlier, Puppeteer.
Oh.
A PS3 game sent to die where they did not publish a lot of the copies.
Yeah.
Cool game, really fun, very cute. It's PS3 only though, so you got to dig that PS3 out. Not accessible or super easily accessible. You got to get a physical copy, I guess. Wait, is the PS3 store still online? Can you buy digitally?
It was not purchasable the last time I checked.
Okay.
It was streamable.
Okay. God. All right. So cool game though. Would love to see it get ported. Sony, make it happen.
I really like Puppeteer.
Yeah. Cool villain, Moon Bear King. Great name. All right. Hoeg, Inazuma 11 Victory Road. Now, let me read this from Daniel McGee real quick before you answer any questions. Greetings, Summoners. I have a question for Hoeg. In the past, I have loved certain level 5 games such as Ni no Kuni and the Professor Layton franchise. My question for you is, do you recommend Inazuma 11 for someone who is interested in diving into another one of their games, despite it seeming on the surface to be a little quirkier than some of their other releases? I probably wouldn't be interested in if they weren't not attached, but I have loved their games in the past and would love to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks and happy holidays to you, Matty and Brad. So this is the only reason I saw anything about this game as well, because it is level 5.
Yeah, and I like level 5. Level 5 is an interesting company to me because I like what they make. They don't appear, at least in my own kind of conception, to get to quite the heights of JRPG-dom that I would like to be at. They are always like one notch below. I do like Professor Layton, as was referenced in the commenters post, but this game actually is probably my favorite of theirs so far. If you don't know anything about Inazuma 11, it is a soccer game.
Inazuma?
Yes. It is yelled at you every time you start the program.
Inazuma.
So yes, that's the only reason I know. But yes, it is a soccer game, although they will only refer to it as football, in the best kind of sports anime conception. So if you think about any kind of sports anime, you've got your crazy anime powers. Somebody can jump up in midair and turn the soccer ball into a into a fireball to get past the goalie, that kind of thing, but with a JRPG attached to it, right? And not in the same way as like Mario Tennis or some other of those games where you've just kind of got a Pokemon game where you play tennis or soccer, in this case, occasionally. Instead, it's a full-on level 5 JRPG where you are collecting characters to join your party, and they all have their own reason to join your soccer team at not even a high school level. It's actually you're assembling a middle school soccer team in Japan that wants to be the very best, the best that ever was. You know how it is. And this game is cool because it's got this full world of anime tropes and all these characters that go into then a pretty interesting version of soccer. It's not FIFA. It's not one of these ultra sim-based soccer games. Instead, every time a offensive player with the ball comes up against a defender, you've got kind of a little mini game that plays out, and you've got superpowers that will, bang up against each other, and one will win over the other in almost a rock, paper, scissors fashion. And in fact, the battles, as they are when you're out in the JRPG world, are all done by rock, paper, scissors. Oftentimes you are negotiating with someone rather than hitting them with anything, and showing them photos on your phone, whatever it might be. I will say this game is a little long-winded, which I think is a thing that I find in common with Level 5's kind of approach to making JRPGs overall. I felt this way about Fantasy Life, for instance. But you will play this game in its single-player JRPG mode for maybe a dozen hours before you play soccer. And it's really, really strange as you start to assemble your team to even have these matches at all. And it says at the front end, there's like a warning screen that says, there is a ton of soccer in here. It says football, but you're not going to get to it for a while. So just know that up front.
So funny.
And there are fully animated, fully voiced anime scenes, like not small ones, 6-8 minutes long.
Wow.
As you go through this particular game. I find it to be very compelling, and I found the actual model of a sports anime to be more interesting than I thought it would be, because all of these different characters that are in your JRPG party have their own reasons to be on the team.
Yeah.
And you get these little character arcs just like you would get in an anime. So it's going to depend a lot on your tolerance for anime tropes and voice acting that is maybe not the top of the line. But I actually find this to be one of their more approachable games. I wound up liking it more than Fantasy Life this year.
Oh, okay. I was very curious about Fantasy Life. I saw it got really good reviews.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I just wind up liking this one more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this looks cool, dude. This like soccer RPG. It is bizarre to me that it takes like that long to get to an actual soccer match, though. Like you're saying at the beginning of the game. But I love the idea of walking around this town, building up your team with characters. They all have their own motivations. It's like just a soccer RPG. That's pretty cool.
It is just a soccer RPG. But the soccer is better than it should be. The RPG is better than it should be. The whole thing is much bigger than it should be. And that single player mode is only one of many. There's another mode. This apparently is a series that came from the DS, that there were Inazuma 11s before.
Okay.
And so there's a mode that instead of playing through the JRPG, you play through essentially a series of soccer games that were important in prior games in the series, with, of course, as Level 5 is wont to do, a story that even connects that mode where you are a time traveler that is trying to prevent a post-apocalypse from happening because the wrong soccer team didn't win. Okay. So you're in a traveling soccer bus that goes through time and goes back to these old football matches. And that's an entirely different mode from the already ridiculously large single-player JRPG mode. All of that is next to fully online modes where you can put together your teams.
Cool.
And I'm probably underselling how much of a JRPG this all is, even in full soccer mode, which is to say everybody's got different stats, everybody's got different equipment, everybody's got different magical skills. And it's not just Twitch-based action sports. When you take a shot on goal, as a for instance, the goaltender has a certain amount of hit points. You have to get your shot to do more damage than the goaltender's hit points to score the goal. You've got different ways to do that. Different characters can set up brick walls to hurt the ability of your shot to get to the goaltender. All sorts of things like that in the middle of a soccer game.
Right.
So it's a really weird kind of thing. I found myself liking it a lot more than I thought I would. Even the JRPG-ness, which is kind of a little bit more rote than something like a Final Fantasy or an Octopath Traveler or other things that we would talk about, is still very good. And I just think it's really interesting and novel to have it in a new environment that I haven't played a JRPG in before.
Yeah. I saw
Japanese middle school.
Yeah, I saw these you can walk around like a town and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
What can you do there?
So you're mostly walking around to find out information about things. So like any given sports anime, there's a deep and dark history for why nobody's allowed to play soccer anymore.
Right, yeah.
And you have to go and figure out why that might be. You're in the footloose town for soccer. And there's things like, to spoil one tiny little bit, the reason your main character is becoming a manager of this team is because he's got a heart condition that prevents him from getting too excited like he gets when he plays soccer. And so he has to throw his heart into managing the team for him. And so you've got all these little bits and bobs that go along with finding out these bits of history about your characters, about the town, about the middle school, about the teams. And then you get into rivalry battles where you fight for control of the soccer field at the school and things like that. So you are mostly doing little side quests with rock, paper, scissors battles, collecting items. Only your character can see these ghost soccer balls that you go and kick to get items, like a treasure chest out in the town. And it's not Grand Theft Auto. You're not going into various stores or anything like that. Right. But it is an RPG that feels like it's built out. It's not just like two-dimensional paper characters or anything
fully
like that.
Fleshed out RPG.
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty cool, man. This seems actually really fun. Level 5, dude. Kind of making a comeback for me. Like,
yeah, big year for them.
PS2 was prime for me for them. I thought they killed it in PS2 with like Dragon Quest 8, which I love, and Rogue Galaxy and stuff like that. But to me,
I think if I were to compare this to one, Rogue Galaxy would be the one.
Wow.
The one that kind of feels like this is level 5 doing its best stuff, but maybe isn't quite as compelling as Square Enix doing their best stuff, which Square Enix doesn't always do.
Right.
I mean, it's comparing best to best.
Okay. Damn. Yeah, this game looks cool, dude. I had no idea
really
this existed. Shout out, dude. Another classic little Hoeg gem right there.
I play a lot of weird stuff.
True. All right. Final game here. Matty. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.
Yeah.
Are you playing this because of the rumors about a remake?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, I mean, we know it exists, but like coming out soon.
Yeah. This is part interest, part reconnecting with something, and then part, retro rebound research.
Sure.
So the first part is just like, I haven't played this game in a while. I remember growing up as a kid loving Prince of Persia.
When this game came out, big time. Awesome.
Yeah, huge. And I remember playing like Two Thrones and thinking how cool the prince was, because you had those like visceral, brutal stealth takedowns. And I just remember loving these games. But it's been a while. And they're very short. So I was, again, in my newfound spirit, free from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I was like, all right. Well,
wait, hold on. You loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right?
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Amazing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so now I'm like, I could get down with a little 7-hour excursion on my PS3 with the trilogy remaster. So fired that bad boy up, right? So, that was part one. Part two is, I'm very disenfranchised with Ubisoft nowadays, but it's very easy to forget just how good they were.
Yeah.
And for how long they were good. And this is during a stretch where it was like, they were really good. Prince of Persia obviously walked, so Assassin's Creed could run, as I always say. But Prince of Persia should not be underestimated. It was really awesome stuff back then. And there was just I guess the worst thing that happened to them, I always say, is Far Cry 3, because it gave them the formula. This is before the formula.
The Ubi game.
Yeah, right. The template. This is before the formula. So it's experimenting with a lot of interesting things. I mean, you see, of course, the beginning of the movement system that's in Assassin's Creed, but also like the combat system is it's honestly a lot more, it's not good, but it's a lot more intricate than I think what their games throw at you nowadays. Like there's enemies with different mechanics, and some of them you have to vault, some of them you can stab and slow down time, and that unlocks a different set of combos. Like there's a lot of different things you can do in combat. I'm like, this has a lot more to it than I think we all remember. So there's that aspect. Because it's Ubisoft, though, and that kind of gets into the retro rebound part, I wanted to reconnect with this old part of them, but also with them remaking kind of a treasured video game. It's like that concern that surrounds like, what are they going to change? Because I imagine with how long it took, although I could be wrong, I doubt it is just a faithful top to bottom remake of the original, because this is a very short video game. There's also things that these games get away with back then that we don't really think much about when we love on them, like the way platforming challenges are set up make no sense at all within the context of your setting. It's like, oh, this is a big palace, and like here comes like 80 trillion spike traps in a row that like I don't know how anyone navigated this entire building. This doesn't make any sense. It's very video game shit, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like Ubisoft has always done a good job with level design and environment design and world design, where I imagine the time was spent figuring that out. But I don't know if that meant, again, even if they did this faithfully, that's where all the time was spent. I imagine they've made a bigger video game here.
Right.
So I want to really fondly connect with what I loved growing up, remember it for what it was, and be able to compare and contrast it with the new stuff they do. Because I do plan to play that. That's probably going to be the first new game that I play this year. Or this coming year, I should say, sorry. But yeah, I've been enjoying going back to it. You know, Yuri Lowenthal is my favorite actor in gaming. So I was like, oh yeah, he's the prince. Like that was really cool to discover. Like him and his relationship with Farah, I thought has been really good so far. And again, just watching that kind of relationship grow over the course of the game. I don't know why, it kind of just reminded me of Avatar: The Last Airbender a bit, where like Sokka starts off as this very immature character. And I feel like nowadays, with the way people approach media, both creatives and fans, he would be considered intolerable. But what's brilliant about Sokka is, you know, how he develops as a character and how he matures by the end of his journey. And I think of the prince in a similar way. Like he starts off like very unlikable. And that's the point. I feel like that's the one weird thing about the way video games are critiqued is movies and TV are very accepting of the very flawed characters. You can run multiple seasons of the same piece of shit. Be like, damn, I can't stand that character, and watch more of the show. Gaming doesn't have that connection for some reason, in my opinion. Like, I think the best I can think of on the top of my head is like Joel, where it's like very flawed, but you get why it's happening. But I feel like we're not there yet, where like characters like the Prince, who are kind of just shitty, can get by. And you watch them become something greater, something more mature, something more well-rounded. So that's another element I've kind of appreciated going back to, is I'm like, oh yeah, he sucked, but not in like he was just poorly written. Like he sucked because he was just like not mature at this time.
He was a dickhead.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's been nice to go back, right? Like, again, the thing I always try to champion is like, I miss when we got these types of experiences from big publishers that were, number one, different. But number two, weren't these like Titanic experiences. Like you can beat Prince of Persia really in a sitting if you throw your whole brain at it all day, but you can definitely beat it in like a day or two, like it's a short game. And it kind of reminds me a little bit, I guess, if I were to draw a comparable nowadays, although I haven't played the game, but it reminds me of what Capcom did with Kunitsugami. It's like, oh yeah, like we know him for Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, but like, here's this little thing. So yeah, just a nice, interesting experimental time. Fun to go back to. I definitely enjoyed my journey back to Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. And I don't know, you get that hankering. Like, am I like I gotta be not alone on this, but I'm a very momentum based gamer where I finish this and I'm like, Warrior Within now? Do I just want to go for it?
I get it, dude.
These games are short enough. Like I can just line them up and knock them down. So
it's tempting. Yeah, it's
very tempting. But obviously, as I illustrated earlier during our Witcher 3 DLC segment, I don't know if that would be the best choice for me. We'll see. This is just training for the remake. So yeah, like I said, I've been having a good time with it.
Yeah.
I like your description of all that, Matty, because especially on the environmental stuff with there's all these pits in the palace, I'm reminded of the fact that Sands of Time is, of course, not the first Prince of Persia.
Yeah, sure.
And I was playing Prince of Persia on whatever I was playing it on, a Commodore 64 maybe, back in the day, where you were just running through palace walls in 2D. With all those spike traps, all those guillotine traps, whatever you want to call them, in the palace. And now you're talking about a remake of Sands of Time. Wasn't based on a specific version of Prince of Persia before it, but was remaking the concepts of Prince of Persia for a new 3D world. And so it's essentially a remake of a remake, if you will, that we're talking about with respect to Ubisoft, and especially given the tortured development, it's probably a remake of a remake of a remake, given that they probably had to scrap most of what they were working on at some point during this whole thing. So I will be interested in that Rebound episode because it's a pretty crazy set of events.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft is not a company that I hate on quite as much as some people do. I really like even Ubi game. People might not know this, but Star Wars Outlaws was my favorite game of last year, both because I love Star Wars. I think they did it justice, and I really liked that game, how it came out eventually. But I will be interested in seeing what you think about the new Prince of Persia whenever they actually show it to us, which should be pretty imminent, I think.
Yeah.
My prediction is that is a developer direct game because it's already been confirmed it won't be at the Game Awards. It's coming out in the middle of January. So I think it's just like a shadow drop that day. Like that same day, like right now they're saying January 16th. I think that same day you're probably getting the remake in that showcase and it's coming out. Like I think Ubisoft saw something. I think Ubisoft saw something that they actually might be ahead of the curve a little bit on this and saw something Bethesda did with Oblivion Remaster and said, like, why don't we just do this? Because they get fucking crushed in the marketing. Let's be real, dude.
They do.
There's a reason why they haven't revealed Black Flag Remake or Prince of Persia Remake. I think it's because they've just been getting tortured in all of their marketing windows leading up to Star Wars Outlaws, leading up, of course, to Shadows. Like, whether it's political or not, like, it's just they get hammered, dude. So I think they could benefit from this shortened cycle. It'll be an interesting time to watch them because I'm a little more optimistic on Prince of Persia strictly because the last great unique thing Ubisoft did was Prince of Persia Lost Crown. You know, that was an awesome Metroidvania game.
I love Lost Crown.
You know, so I feel at least a little optimistic that they still have a good Prince of Persia in them. Obviously, this is a different team and a different game, and they're remaking a classic in a lot of ways. But, you know, the Black Flag remake is the one I'm the more, if I were picking between the two, I am more concerned about just because they just like to put RPG mechanics in everything Assassin's Creed now. And it's just, I don't think that would be very fitting in EC4 personally. I like the sense of adventure and not being limited by levels and that sort of stuff. So we'll see, but I think it's going to be an interesting stretch for them. I really do. Like interesting, whether for good or for bad, I don't know, but they're putting out, at least on paper, I'm looking at these things and I'm like, I would be interested in playing both of these if they're good. So we'll see, but at least Prince of Persia Sands of Time, small enough swing where I can knock out the original, kind of compartmentalize my experience and then, break it down further on Rebound and then probably reviewing the remake. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, Matty, I remember the time mechanics in the game were really cool. Like, of course, I remember
it was kind of transformative for the time.
Yeah,
no?
At the time, I remember you could like rewind and all that kind of stuff. What else could you do in the game?
It's a lot of platforming is probably not the right word, because it uses like a lot of camera angle changes while you're doing it. But there is a lot of traversal in the game. That's like I'd say the main one, and that's why the rewind mechanic is really good. For those who don't know, you get the Sands of Time and you're able to control time itself. So if you like fuck up in combat, you're able to rewind and maybe get that hit back, dodge instead of, it's like kind of a get out of jail free card. But also like it's very forgiving for the game's like movement where maybe the camera moves in a way you didn't expect. It's like, oh shit, I just felt my death. Well, rewind, no problem. That's really it. It's really just fight, traverse, rewind the Sands of Time. There is a decent puzzle in there. That was another thing I forgot. Like, yeah, it's interesting to go back to these games because you realize how little the game talked to you about things. And I miss it. Yeah, you exactly. I do too. Like, I don't need brain busters. I am not like that at all. Like, I definitely, call me stupid, I like a nice easy breezy puzzle. Like, I definitely do. I just don't like when the game tells me the solution. And I think this is a game where you basically had these like, you had this rotating platform and you had to like plug in parts of the platform into these pegs, and it was basically like manipulating them in these slots in the environment. Again, it really didn't make much sense for what was happening within the context of the palace, but that aside, that sort of puzzle to me, it just stuck with me because I went, oh wow, I actually engaged with that, thought it out, and the only time the NPC yelled at me, it was like when I was getting close to the end, where I was like, it was a good addition, like, okay, I am on the right direction, because there's nothing worse than a puzzle where the mistakes games made at this time was they let you go all the way and then you get to the end. They'd be like, no, you did it all wrong. And I'm like, oh, fuck me, dude. Well, now I don't know where I got it right or wrong. And you're kind of left with a bunch of like pieces scattered on the floor and not sure how to reorganize them. So that was another good reminder. I recommend people go back to these games because it's kind of sobering, is what I always say. Like it's good to go back and reconnect because you remember the things you do love. Like, oh yeah, like Ubisoft was pretty good. And I think that allows you to kind of view them in a different context nowadays. But there's also stuff from back then, like the combat in this game isn't that great. Like there are things that we have gotten better with over time. And so as always, there's fun nuance in the conversation. Some do enjoy that, some don't. But that's been my experience thus far with Sands of Time. It's been good. I've been really enjoying it.
Awesome. All right, let's end the show with some write-ins from the audience. First, we got Nevitz here. Hey, Summoners. In your younger days, did you ever buy a game for a system you didn't have yet? When I got my first job in 2007, I found a great deal for my first Xbox 360 game 6 months before I had the console. The game was Sonic 06.
There we go.
But this past Black Friday was the second time I've ever done something like this. With no plan on purchasing a PlayStation 5, I bought a physical copy of Habroxia to support our boy Colin. I'm interested in your stories. Keep it up and don't burn yourselves out this holiday season. I can't really think of a time I ever did this, honestly, off the top of my head.
I can remember that when the PlayStation 3 was coming out, I had ordered Resistance and it came to my house before the PlayStation 3 did. So I believe I had it for about a week sitting there waiting to be opened, waiting to be experienced. And that's the closest I come to this particular phenomenon.
Yeah, I don't, because when I was younger, I didn't have really any money at all. So I think I only made sure to purchase what I could play at that time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way to Nevitz, because I get the idea. Like, oh, this is not a great deal. Like, I'm going to get this because I'm going to buy this game or this system later. But no, I think like, because GameStop was like my lifeline. So like I was trading in valuable assets to obtain things that I needed to experience now. So like even when they were like, do you want to pre-order this? Which we all know how GameStop shoves those. I wouldn't even do that. I still don't. But you know, except now you get harassed like 2 times more.
I know, it's crazy.
Have they ever snuck in a little Game Informer subscription on you guys, or like a little?
Oh
pro
yeah,
member?
they were so annoying. They were so annoying. I stopped going to GameStop.
Yeah, like I used to feel bad for them, but then I went in one time and I told them no, I don't want a pro member subscription, and then they were like checking me out. And they're like, all right, your total's like $155, and I'm like, where the fuck did that number come from? And I see on the receipt, like, are there my games? And then pro member, I'm like, dude, I told you I didn't want that. Like, I understand that they have to hit a quota, but like sneaking it in like that.
Yeah, that is sketchy.
Especially when this is the store manager. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, you're not getting your bonus on my account. Like, yeah, find some other sucker.
That is crazy, dude.
But yeah, I never bought games for things I didn't have yet, just because it was like, that one game you get is like, that was it for a while. So it's like, I gotta make that count, Nevitz. Certainly you understand.
Yeah. I think for like money wise, I'd always just be saving money for the console itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't remember a time I ever bought a game before I even owned the console or anything like that. Maybe I have. I just can't think of anything right now. But God bless all of you who do. All right. Rob Pursglove wrote and said, hello, manly men. Wow. What video game, movies, or songs have brought a tear to your eye? Personally, I've never felt this way about a game, but the end of the Lord of the Rings gets me every time. Have a Matty Genshin Impact video kind of day. Oh boy. Are they trying to get you to make a Genshin Impact video?
No. I've noticed this has become a recent trend because I told people, you guys can do it right now. To go on YouTube and type in Matty Genshin Impact or Mr. Matty Plays Genshin Impact. And because we were talking about bad haircuts on the show. And in this video, I think I gelled my hair and it's just like pasted to the top of my fucking head. It looks awful. It's the worst cut I've ever had.
Oh shit, dude, you look like you're from the 1920s.
And so Cog took it a step further. You know, because I told him I was already critiquing myself, and I told him, and he's like, "Oh, you were single during this time." Like he assumed there was no way anyone could love me during this moment. I said, "No." I said I was with Laylee at that time. He's like, he literally goes, "Oh, dude, she loved you, man." Like, yeah. I was like, that's so fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
So now when people say have a Matty Genshin Impact video kind of day, that's what they're referring to. Is just the worst imaginable.
Oh man, dude, you know who you look like, Matt? You look like Report of the Week. The food review guy. That's what you look like. That's good shit. I love that. Nice mouse pad though. He's got a Doom 2016 mouse pad.
Yeah, that was a good one. I had that for a while. Now I'm rocking a Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I've had that for a few years now. But that's the reference there. No, I have made Genshin videos in the past, and they didn't clearly go that well.
Great reference. All right. Has any form of media, I guess, brought a tear to your eye?
Yes.
Let's start with you. Yeah.
I can answer this question. First, I would say not a lot of media generally evokes an emotional response from me. That's just the truth of the matter. But in the land of movies, there are a couple. I'm going to give you two because one of these matches up with the commentator. I can't carry it for you. I can't carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you. Mm-hmm. Got me pretty good the first time I saw it back in the early 2000s. And that's, of course, the end of The Lord of the Rings. And makes me tear up probably still to this day. But the one that gets me more than that, which is probably unexpected, and I'm not sure everybody has an emotional reaction to this moment at all, is the final couple rounds in the movie Creed. I absolutely love this movie. It's Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. If you haven't seen this, it's the sequel series to Rocky. Yeah. But towards the end, there are some pretty big moments where there's realizations and thoughts about legacy and fathers and sons and all this stuff. And it gets me every single time. I actually use it as one of my, I need an emotional cleanse kind of pieces of media. So Creed and Lord of the Rings. Probably won't hear him again in the same sentence, but you heard him here.
Matty, anything for you?
Too many. Oh,
Too many?
Man, I've gotten soft in my old years here, man. I'm a bitch.
Don't
with this
you
shit
say, do not say Revenge of the Sith. Don't fucking say it, Matty.
I mean, dude, like when I go back to that, I feel all sorts. That's more nostalgia though. Like it's Revenge of the Sith does come to mind, but that's more goosebumps for me. Like when the music hits and everything, crying. KOTOR. I definitely like it's just I actually kind of avoid playing the game now. I used to play it every year, but now I come back to it and it's such an overwhelming thing that it's actually tough for me to play. I've never really experienced that. But I think that the tear to my eyes, just I'm like, how do you make something this good, and trying to wrap my head around that. I think like a genuine like, oh, there's the waterworks Nier was my first cry. First Nier. That got me when I was a kid. It's a crazy series to be playing when you're young, man. That's just mega depressing. Yeah. Walking Dead season 1, of course.
Sure.
So many. Speaking of Nier Automata, that was beautiful. Expedition 33. Oh my God.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Death Note. I think beautiful media that realizes a vision is what gets me. It's not usually, I mean, Expedition was the moment, but it was also that feeling of like, oh my God, that is a beautiful creative vision realized. And that feeling that you get at the end of like understanding all of that, but also like, for me, again, I always wonder how you bring all of that together. It's such like a masterstroke. Like Death Note to me is one of my top 5 pieces of media. That always gets me because I'm just like, I think the ending is so strong. Last one I'll throw out there, favorite movie of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. Guaranteed waterworks in the Matty household when that shit's on. Oh my God. Still the most powerful message in any piece of media ever, in my opinion. I don't think it'll ever be topped. Christmas movies always have a great message, but I think this one you could watch this in the middle of the year and it would still, I think, hit home. But to me, Christmas is a very special time of year. And then I won't even tease for those who haven't seen it, the message of that movie and sort of what is important in life and how you impact other people. It just reminds me how important it is to be present when I've almost given up before. So I just think that movie is every era of my life. It takes on a new meaning. And so I just, that is the one for sure, above any game, any show, anything. It's a Wonderful Life. I will always watch that every year, every Christmas season. And it just hits so hard, man. Love that movie.
For me,
like I said, see, my list is long, dude.
Yeah, it's a long list. Yeah.
Little crybaby over here, man.
No, that's fine. For me, I'm not really a crier. at all. Like, I don't think I've ever
Yeah, you
cried
seem
from
kind
a
of tough,
video
Brad.
game.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you seem
Well,
tough.
I mean, I could feel stuff for sure. It's not like I'm a freak with no emotions or anything like that. I just don't like cry really so much. But
Straight
like,
face at
I can
everyone's
get like
funeral.
choked up and stuff. Like, I remember Shadow of the Colossus, the end of that game,
Oh, nice.
definitely impacted me a lot at the time.
Mm.
So that's definitely one of them. Of course, like you throw in a real fucking heavy ass movie like Schindler's List. It's like, geez, you're gonna feel something for sure on that. But Shadow of the Colossus is definitely one that really stuck with me at the time.
Nice.
All right. KB wrote in and said, hey, gents, with the PS6 and PS6 handheld expected to launch in fall 2027, and considering the tone and tenor with which gamers and creators talk about the current generation, my question is this: should we view the next generation as a reset? By fall 2027, platform strategies across the console space should be crystal clear. There will be no more speculation or mixed messaging around exclusivity. With Halo going to PlayStation, it feels like a foregone conclusion that every Xbox published game will also have a PlayStation SKU. Sony's first-party studios, including those impacted by cancellations or strategic pivots these past few years, should be well into development on their next wave of titles. Hopefully, the conversation can finally shift back to the games themselves rather than the uncertainty and noise that have defined so much of this generation. What say you? Thanks. The complaining will never stop, KB.
Yeah.
And things
I like this comment because I view it as aspirational, right?
Yeah.
Everything will be clear by then. We'll know everything there is to know.
No. Nothing will ever be completely clear. There will always be things that people are complaining about that are annoying. It will be about the games for sure, but it'll never be only about the games ever. Because it never was only about the games.
Yeah.
People just notice it more because they're on social media all the time now.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is happening with every generation, right? Like the console wars have gone on forever. I think I would throw in there, if we're talking about a reset, like a mental reset.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit, but I feel like these companies are just pivoting so much as of lately, quicker than ever, that it's always hard to nail them down for doing just one thing. Like PlayStation's kind of in this up in the air moment where like people are seeing like the cross buy tag and like, what does this mean for the future of their exclusives? And maybe that'll be clear by then, but there's always something to be added on top. Like we didn't expect going into this generation, like smart delivery from Xbox, which felt like it needed no explanation at all. It's like, oh, it should work that way. Well, until PlayStation 5 was in our hands and we were seeing how we were getting our PS4 saves over, suddenly smart delivery is this thing that they're like, no wonder they pushed the hell out of this thing. Like this is such a big difference maker in that kind of transitionary period. So I'm sure we'll have new terms to wage war over. So there'll always be something is how I would say. But I do hope that there is a little more focus on the games. Like that's always my hope.
Right.
I this has definitely been an era of gaming to forget in a lot of ways, not the games themselves, but I think there's been I think we can all relate to this, right? We got into this to talk about games.
Right.
I've never talked more about the business of games than this stretch because it's
now, wait a minute. I got into this to talk about the business of games.
That's fair.
That's
the only reason anybody knows who I am.
I apologize, Hoeg. I apologize.
Me and Matty, maybe.
I wanted to lump you in, man.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. I prefer talking about the game, sincerely.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons I really like being on
Maybe I should have worded it
Summon
like that. I think we all have the preference to be like, if we could just sit down and do what we're doing here today and call that the day, that would be, call that work. That would be it. But I feel like we've all had to really ramp up or gear our focus big time on that business side of things. At least on my side, I can feel that, where I just like, I look at my recent uploads, I'm like, yeah, I'm talking more about like business and he said, she said more than stuff I'm playing. And it's something I aim to change soon, but like has to be like a gradual transition.
Right.
But I hope that can become more of the norm for other people out there. I will say this. I think people are wisening up to grifters a lot quicker than I think the grifters expected. I think a lot of them have already kind of, at least in my timelines and my feeds, have completely faded in relevance where, now I just more so see the random account posting like a Metroid Prime character talking. And it's like, I'm like, I don't know who this person is. And that's kind of nice. It's not like, oh, of course it's this same actor who has the problem with everything. So my hope is at least that it'll be a little more scattershotted by next gen, but I don't know. There'll always be something. right? But I like the aspirations. I think we should have hope in one another.
No, it's optimistic. I like the optimism. I like the aspirations. I assumed that the reference to a reset just meant that we were going to accept that the next playground was going to take over the hardware market completely next generation.
Yeah.
But if that's not what they meant, fair enough.
Yeah.
I do think there will be a certain solidity in how the console war, quote unquote, has played out. I think it's clear Sony has won the day there. But what you see in terms of the fluidity of the Sony position is that they're not quite sure whether that's a win that they want to keep, essentially, going forward in the next generation, especially with all the platforms and digital options out there. So I think that will be interesting to continue to follow. But again, I do like following the business and law of all this stuff. And God knows they've given me a lot to chew on this decade, and I expect more to chew on next decade. But I do think a mental reset is a good idea. I think that should really happen every generation, as we saw just from the flip between the 360 era and the Xbox One era. The generation change really does matter as to how a company is operating.
Sure does.
And whether or not it can succeed on the same grounds that it used to.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. All right. A final write in here from the Diddler. Happy holidays. Do you have any thoughts on what your gaming habits might look like in 2025? PlayStation, Nintendo, and Steam will be rolling out their yearly stats soon, and it's always fun to see how well we can predict or notice our own trends. What do you think your most played games will be? I'm curious to see how accurate everyone's games end up being once the stats actually drop. As for me, here's what I'm expecting. PS5, number 1, Marvel Rivals. Number 2, Street Fighter 6. Number 3, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Nintendo, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart World, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Have a good one, and don't diddle the reindeers. We won't.
Please don't.
Well, Jed, don't.
Yeah, we won't. Don't worry about it. All right. What do you guys think your gaming habits are going to look like on these little wrap-ups? I'm trying to look at what I finished this year.
Yeah, I know this isn't exactly the question, but on an aggregate level, I know it's going to say that I spent way more time playing Nintendo than I had in prior years. That the Switch 2 has been like my godsend this year. It's my favorite piece of tech that I've bought in a long time. And it would say for this list of most popular games played that I've played, I don't know at this point, 200 plus hours of the 100 line, Last Defense Academy. And that is probably my top played game of the year. This year,
Same.
just because of how much volume it has in it and how enjoyable I found it both myself and with my family. So that's going to be number 1 on the list. I on the PlayStation side, I don't know. I think the most time I spent was probably Assassin's Creed Shadows. I played a lot of Expedition 33, but it's just not as long as some of the bigger games. So I wouldn't expect it to appear there. Xbox, I also have a lot of time in, but not on kind of this year's releases. It's mostly going to say Diablo 4 for me.
I don't think I played my Xbox at all this year. Now I think about it, dude. I don't think I played it once.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I really liked Outer Worlds 2, but I think Diablo 4 is just going to be that much more in terms of time.
I'm looking at my list. For PlayStation, it might be Yakuza Infinite Wealth. If I finished that all this year, I'm not sure if I started it last year.
That's a big long one.
Yeah, the first Berserker Kazan took me a while.
Oh, yeah. I
played that on PlayStation.
It came out this year.
Yeah.
I beat the Yeti.
Oh, hell yeah. Super early.
That's the joke that I have on Bitcast because I'm so bad at these games, but I got past the Yeti.
Dude, that game was...
And I called it.
There you go.
Expedition 33 has got to be one of the higher ones too, playtime-wise. Death Stranding on PlayStation maybe as well. Goes to Yote.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding 2.
Yeah. PC, Kingdom Come I played a lot of.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Battlefield on there, Arc Raiders. Those are probably like the higher ones, I would assume. Silksong maybe is pretty high on PlayStation as well. Anything that you could think of, Matty?
I think of everything PC will be the most played because it's just kind of where I've gravitated toward these last 2 years or so. I would say Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will probably be my most played game on that platform. Followed by, I think Expedition would be up there. And I'm looking at my list right now of things I have played this year and seeing Trails will probably be in there because I did play a lot of Trails on PC this year for reviews and whatnot. And then I'd say probably Nintendo Switch will follow that up because I did play 100 Line there. And like Hoeg, I've sunk stupid hours into that game. So I think that
every time I check, it's just funnier and funnier.
Yeah.
I started checking when it's at 130 plus.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
It's comedic that I got the true ending, if you will, like as in the one that was most locked off. And that was like 115 hours. And like I called it there, but that there was more beyond that, more stories. I could go back and I probably have another like 60 hours of game there. It's great bang for your buck. It's an awesome game. Just like it's unbelievable how much content's there. So that was definitely my most played game this year. I think it just narrowly eclipsed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Otherwise, though, I played. What else did I play on my Switch? I guess I just kind of like messed around with a lot of things on Switch. But PlayStation, I think, is going to be third because that was kind of my go-to third-party machine when I wasn't on PC. And Xbox, dude. Like, I mean, I reviewed Outer Worlds 2, which was 50 hours ish or 60 hours on there. I reviewed Ninja Gaiden 4 on there. Yeah, man, like just not much usage of it this year because I mean, especially with the layoffs and the business changes. I mean, unless I was reviewing something and Xbox was providing it, I really wasn't firing it up, to be honest.
Did you do Avowed?
I did do Avowed. Oh, yeah.
On Xbox?
Yeah, I did do Avowed on Xbox. Yeah, but I spent the most time on Outer Worlds 2. Avowed, I spent less time with, even though Avowed is actually, I think, a bigger game. Yeah, there was more content in Avowed, which is a little surprising. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else from Xbox this year. I think any like first party releases ended up on the console, but otherwise, you know, mostly on Steam. I've just become a PC guy, man. I hate to say it, but I love my PC. You know, it's been
funny. It's
nice home for me.
I love the strategy games on PC, and I really do. That's one of my favorite genres. But one of the things I tell people is I do so much work at my home computer now that I really like to separate out my leisure space.
Same.
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
From my workspace.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing as much on my Steam library or my PC as I probably should be based on what I've got in there.
Yeah. I've kind of just accepted my fate because I record so much gameplay that just like being around my PC when I'm gaming is kind of a natural thing. So it's just kind of like unavoidable. But I do yearn for the day that we can like find a good local way of capturing gameplay. Like PlayStation or Xbox with the share buttons or Nintendo Switch with the share buttons are pretty good for like, I'm not recording, but I need to save that to then like record on my capture card later. But I hope there's one day we get like a good localized option so I can play like handheld and not worry about like, oh, I missed context visually for something I'm going to talk about in my review now. That's what kills me inside.
You hate thinking about that when you're playing? See, I'm not a video game reviewer at all. So
yeah,
does that bother you?
Yeah, definitely. Because then you're kind of strapped to this one room. I would probably actually play. I play a lot of games, but I would play even more if I could just kind of like freely pick up and go. So that's because I think the part of it is also the mindset though, Hoeg, to be honest with you, is like, it's partially my fault because I just immediately assume, just based on like comments you read and stuff, like even your own videos, like people just always assume you're being dishonest. So for me, I like to make it where when I review something, I don't want to just say like, yeah, my frames were dipping and have nothing to show you for that. Like I have to visually back it up because for me, it's like a headache and a concern removed because it's like, you can say all you want about me, but like I'm showing you right there, like this was reflective of my experience because I captured it. It's my own footage, like boom. You know, so they'll still slander me, but at least they can't take away from the truth.
They will.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's kind of like when I try to find primary source material to read specifically on interpretations. It's like, okay, so we're going to go find the law and we're going to read it to you. And yes, we can talk about ways to interpret this, but this is the statute.
Yeah.
And I try to do that in my videos. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like a level of being thorough that like I'll never relinquish unless I stop reviewing stuff, which I don't plan to, but it's definitely like it's definitely a little bit of that, you know, like I'm a big handheld guy. Like I'm sure Hoeg, you can relate because your situation sounds the same as me. Like for me, just getting out of the office or having that Switch or for me, Steam Deck or PlayStation Portal, like just gaming in a more leisurely position instead of being upright in my chair, like just laying on the couch, feet out. Like that's awesome. And I definitely get a lot more game going then because I'm just in a completely locked in, relaxed state. But I still lock in, but I don't get fully relaxed when I'm here because I'm in my work chair, you know?
Yeah.
Microphone's
I
like
get that
right
completely.
here in the way. So all I do is just like, and that's it. I'm gaming. That's my game on, game off switch.
Yeah. All right, boys, we're done. Another episode in the books. Matty,
Nice.
Hoeg, thank you both for joining me. Really appreciate it as we're wrapping up our year at LSM.
Sure.
Another year done. Well, I mean, we're in grind mode now, especially me and Matty.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it, guys. Before we
course.
go, any final thoughts or words, or should we just get on out of here?
I think folks can expect to see me talking more about Warner Brothers, Netflix, and now Paramount
Oh, yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah.
People have asked me about virtual legality. I have told them that this particular season of life has been a difficult one for me to get back into content creation for my own channel. I would love to make a virtual legality soon on all of this because I've got a lot of people asking me questions and I think there's a lot of answers I can give. But if you don't see me on virtual legality, I think I'll also be talking about it in other places, including here at Last Stand Media. So look out for me there. I think there's a lot of interesting things happening in the world of media, and video games are a part of that story with that potential acquisition, hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's get on out of here. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Take care and goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.